Stop talking about comic books or I'll kill you. I don't care if the Hulk could defeat the Man of Steel. I'm gonna rearrange your face if you continue to debate whether Logan's claws could pierce Steve Rogers' shield. I just couldn't care less if they bring back Kraven. And I don't care if Spider-Man's a clone. Stop spending all our cash on back issues of The Flash, or I swear to God you're gonna spend your twilight years alone. You can call them graphic novels. They're still just plain old comic books to me. And I don't see why you must always ceaselessly discuss the post-zero-hour continuity. For the last time, I will read those curvy X-Men. You know that I prefer the work he did for DC. And if you don't want to die, you'll lose that old Street Price Guide, Comic Buyer's Guide, and Wizard Magazine. But please get the new Invisibles for me.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh, it's been an exciting night, I'll tell you what. It's still going on, but we had to start. We'd hate to stream over the top of our dear friends and occasional guest reviewers, Vicky and DA Talks, but the night's not getting any younger, so we had to do it. Apologies to them, but I'm sure everyone's over there anyway, and they'll filter on over here when they're good and ready. First, before we get started, let's take a quick look at the chat. We have a comment here from Glenn Fitzgerald saying, "Make the machine planet great again." I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, Glenn, and this is why people don't listen to cats. We have our regular Simple Jack saying, "Hail. Hail to you, good sir." AG Zeno Q says, "Saggy's mods are good people." Now hold on, Zeno. You are one of Saggy's mods, so I'm pressing X to doubt there. Our good friend Tom says, "Ayy." Clearly a Fonz fan. Regular James Hayes says, "This is the only chat I've seen all week where F off well read isn't protesting the host." Winking emoji. Well, it's hard to protest the superior model, James. I'm just going to say that. We have Hothead Studios in the chat, and he says, "Well-read reviews is the best damn book review channel in the world." You know that's a lie, Hothead, but we appreciate the sentiment. Wilberforce Wooster says, "Probably will be no Ethan here. Ha ha ha." Well, don't be too sure, Wilberforce, because Ethan recently left a comment on our Brutus First Brand review from a few weeks ago, and he enjoyed it, which is strange because nobody enjoys these shows. We also have F Off Well Read giving an announcement that will be starting in a few minutes, and sorry for the delay. You know what they say about excuses and assholes, right, Well Read? Well, we'll just leave it at that. And I think that's oh no, we have Jabba the Coach, and he says, "Please don't start the stream." I'm sorry, Jabba, but we just couldn't help it. The stream has started. It's happening. You can't stop the signal. And we also have Earthmind, another great regular viewer, and he says, "What's up, everybody?" Not much, Earthmind, just hanging out, talking some comic books. And, oh, great, someone else just arrived. Amit Rayner says, "Smug is #1 fan of Witten's ass." That is a dirty, rotten lie, Amit. I don't know where these vicious rumors are coming from, but please just stop. This is cyberbullying. So I think we're all caught up on the chat. So without further ado, I will bring on my co-hosts for this evening. First, we will bring on the host himself, the host with the most, Mr. Well-Read User.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Well-Read. Welcome to my review show.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And the other guy who we all know and dislike because of his monotone voice, Dune Shine. Is that what he's calling himself tonight? No, Lightning Shine.
Yes.
Wait a minute. What's that image? I recognize that image.
It's lightning.
It's light. Oh no. Well, you know what they say about lightning and striking twice.
Yes.
And we actually have a guest reviewer joining us tonight. And
Wait,
for
we should let Jabba guess this time.
Yeah, I don't think Jabba will be able to guess who our guest reviewer is tonight.
He's a super big fan of Dune, if that gives it away.
I was unaware.
So clearly it's Edwin.
It'd be good to get Edwin on the show, actually. We might have to reach out to Edwin for the Lone Star review at some point.
Sure.
I think he'd be a great addition.
But no guesses are forthcoming, so I guess we'll just bring them on.
Yeah.
Welcome, Glenn Fitzgerald.
Oh, crap.
Or Fitzergood.
Fits are good. Damn dog.
I'm a dog. I can't read. This book I'm reading is just for show.
Okay, yeah. It's fine, I understand.
The stream is full of furries right now.
I'll take offense to that.
Rabbits, pugs, and a cat with sunglasses.
Well, and there's, of course, Lightning Shine, who's a furry as well.
I don't think so.
I don't see a Brazilian there.
I don't think you see anything there. Just see lightning.
I think you need to move me to the left too, Well-Read. This is my show now. I need to assume the host bats better. Thank you very much.
Oh.
You let him take over. It's fantastic.
Forgive me.
So, gentlemen, before we get started with the review, should we talk about the absolute horror show that's going on Vicky and Dean's channel right now?
I tried to warn them in chat, if you let them do blood sports, it's never going to end. And yeah, that's kind of happening right now, isn't it? Is it still going on? Are they still fighting?
I assume so. I've got
Yep.
the stream
We
muted.
got 78 people watching.
Yeah, I closed it out.
Yeah, I stopped it streaming, but I have the chat running just to see if it's still going.
It figures it would be.
Oh, Testify just sent me a message. He posted in the Vicky and Dean chat saying, "Please, no one watch the Well-Read stream after this."
Well, the good news is you can't. You have to watch it concurrently.
That's right. Well, and he's doing a public service announcement, because he doesn't actually want anyone to be bored by the stream. So he's doing a service to humanity.
It's not that boring. You can be bored by Dune. It's crazy talk.
Well, Glenn, I didn't know you were such a fan of Dune, or that you even read the books. This is
well,
news
I
to me.
actually haven't read the books. I've tried reading one of them, but it was several years ago. And then recently I started to get more back into it. I want to get back into books when I have time and actually read them, but I watched the movies. I did some research on it, the differences with the book, because, I like science fiction shit like that. And then when the comics came out and I was able to find some copies, like, hey, this is pretty good.
Well, after our review show of Dune, House of Atreides issue 1 and 2 a few weeks ago, I actually watched the David Lynch movie a few days later, just so I could get a bit more of a feeling.
Which version did you watch? There's quite a few of them.
Oh, is there different versions?
Yeah. I know there's the theatrical one, doesn't really do it justice because they cut out so much shit.
Well, the one I watched was on Amazon Prime, and it had the intro that the princess gives, and I think that was something that was added afterwards, right? So, yeah, I'm not too sure.
There's actually one on YouTube.
it's like a fan cut that puts everything together. Because the actual better version, well, for me, was the one that came on TV years ago that the networks would run, and it was like almost 3 hours long.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the one I watched, I think, was 2 hours long, so I'll have
Yeah,
to check it out. I actually
But
Well-Read was saying last time that the movie's pretty controversial within the Dune fandom. Like, it's kind of an outcast.
yeah, it kind of is. I mean, it's a good movie for what it is. You know, the actors that played all their parts, they killed it. I thought pretty much almost all of them did great. But they added in a lot of shit that's not in the novel that made the Dune fans go, "What the hell is this?" Like the sound modulator shit, where they use sound to shoot those little ridiculous ass guns. Yeah,
las guns.
Yeah, that's not a thing in a book. Now the TV movie they did around 2000, I think. Yeah, 2000. It was a little bit more closer to the novel.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I liked the Dune movie. I thought it was pretty good. I liked the sound effects and the props and the sets. I thought it was decent. It was just the second half of the movie felt like it was really condensed. Like they tried to squeeze too much into it.
Yeah, I mean, at the time the books were written, those are two separate parts. It was a serialized and analog, and then there's a break, and then the second part serialized and analog, and then it was all jammed together in a book.
Well, it looks like Vicky and Dean's stream just ended, so hopefully we get an influx of people who have all their blood pumping from the blood sports and need something boring to help calm them down before bed tonight.
James Hayes says, Dune on film really needs to be a miniseries or trilogy of films.
That is correct.
Is that the plan for the upcoming Dune movie?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2 movies, because I did a little research on Wikipedia, and I think the guy who's doing the new movies, he said he couldn't do it in 1, so he's splitting it into 2. But I don't know, even 2 feels like it might be not enough, so maybe they should do.
Well, it's kind of crazy when you think they made 3 movies on The Hobbit, which is just a short story. It's like,
well, that was intended to be 2. That was the plan of the original director.
I lost interest with the first one, never bothered with the other 2. Yeah, I said it. Fuck The Hobbit.
Yeah, I mean, The Hobbit's not as exciting as Lord of the Rings, but they were bound to go back to that well after all the money they made with the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yes.
So.
Okay, we have a comment from Son of Colonel. He says, "Hello, I love the Sunday night block. Time for the next show with bonus Glenn."
yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're about 13 minutes in. I suppose we should probably start getting into the comic books. So for the people who don't know, tonight we are going to be reviewing Boom Studios' Dune, House of Atreides, issue 3 and 4. A few weeks ago, we reviewed issue 1 and 2 and gave a bit of the backstory on the Dune series. I suppose if people weren't here for that, we could give just a really quick recap of what issue 1 and 2 were about. Let's go with Lightning Shine. Just a quick recap on issue 1 and 2 for the people who might have missed the show.
So issue 1 and 2, I think there's 5 separate story threads. There's one that's Leto Atreides. He's essentially the hero of the book. He essentially lives a perfect life on his planet with his father, the Duke, and he's being sent off to Planet 9 to foster there for a year or something. We have intrigue at the Emperor's palace. His son's trying to kill him so he can become emperor, and the Emperor has problems with the Duke of Planet 9. We have Idaho Duncan, who's a prisoner of the Harkonnens, and they're using him as sport to see if he can escape. And at the end, his family is killed. And then we just have the Harkonnens themselves on Arrakis, which is Dune. Arrakis, there you go. And that's the sand planet where the spice is, which everyone wants. So we have, I think that covers everything that was in the first 2 books.
Yes, the The spice melange.
I guess we have the planetologist who's on Arrakis, and he wants to discover it, and he wants to meet the Freeman. It's interesting.
Well, and don't forget about Duncan, Idaho.
I already mentioned
He
it.
mentioned Duncan.
Okay.
Yeah, so Duncan Idaho, I now know who he is because he was a character in the movie. He's almost like a friend of the Atreides family and serves them. So it was good to watch the movie just so I've got some idea who these characters are. And I think the planetologist, he also appears briefly in the Dune movie as well. Looks like we have a little bit of controversy stirring up in the chat. Mr. Yonafui says, "Shut up, Zeno. You don't even know how to read. Go away."
More importantly, he says he doesn't like this prequel trilogy, and he just likes the original books.
We also have Ishra Blackwolf saying, "It's our kitty cat Glenn Fitzergood." Jabba the Coach says, "I pray Liam Gray strikes this channel."
Oh, you have comments from Testify to read.
Oh, and
Asshole.
Testify HD says, "Hey guys, big fan of Dune. Love the comic book series. Always good to tune into this review show. My favorite show on the internet. You guys rock. Thumbs up emoji. 3 exclamation points." Wow.
Wow.
Testify. Thank you very much for the glowing endorsement. And
Oh,
we
that
also
was
have
nice of him.
Yeah, he's a generous fellow.
Vicky Verse saying good evening, everybody. And Dungeon Master, who I don't think we've seen before, so welcome to the channel. He says, "I read the first 5 books long ago. They were amazing."
And that is
Okay.
the Dungeon Master from the 80s cartoon.
Alrighty, so let's start with Dune: House of Atreides issue 3. I'm gonna begin with Well Read, because Well Read on the last show, you weren't too impressed with issue 1, but you felt like issue 2 was a vast improvement. How do you feel about the competency of issue 3? Was it not as good as issue 2? Was it a return to the problems that issue 1 suffered from, or do you feel like it was more coherent and continued to improve on the previous issues?
So I liked issue 3 as much as I liked issue 2. I thought the pacing was just as good, and it allowed the story to breathe a little bit and focused on things that were important without being too overbearing about how they did the exposition. So issue 2 was as good as issue 3 is as good as issue 2. But I feel like it also introduced some new problems that then became compounded in issue 4.
Okay, without going into the problems of issue 4, I'm sure we can get to that. Would you like to say what those problems were?
Well, so issue 3 picks up on the story of Duncan, Idaho, the planetologist, and Leto, and gives them the proper amount of focus. Duncan is in a hunt situation, and he shows that he can kind of fend for himself. He figures out a way to outsmart his hunters. And then for the planetologist, he also discovers the freemen that are living on the planet Dune, who he's very interested in, and figures out a way to interact with them. We also get a bit more of a storyline that I was interested in with the Sisterhood, that wants to, through genealogy, give birth to some kind of prophesized savior that's supposed to come and do something. But for that, they had to go to the Vladimir Harkonnen to copulate, basically, and create this offspring that would then lead to this savior. And for some reason, it delved into this weird aspect of the story where the Harkonnens, I guess they don't like to procreate. That's not the way they reproduce.
I
No,
think
they
it's just-
do. Baron Harkonnen likes men.
Yeah.
In the
Oh.
original book, he preferred them much younger.
Okay. So that was so subtle, it actually...
Yeah,
It was lost to
he's
me.
just trying to say he doesn't want to fuck a woman. He likes men.
Right.
Right.
And then
Yeah, I
Leto... I'm sorry.
I did notice that from the movie. The Baron is interested in very young, youthful men, and I actually noticed that was a point of controversy about the film because the Baron's covered in all these sores, and they thought David Lynch was making a slight jab at the AIDS epidemic, trying to paint homosexuality as something diseased and disgusting. So That's a little bit of interesting, I guess, trivia. On
If we go back, James says he both likes and hates the cover. I really like this cover. I actually prefer this to the two Jay Lee covers. It seems like this is going right back to the 60s. Like this could have been on the book back when it was Dune was originally released.
We also have Mr. Yonafui saying, these books are to explain the past events that happened before Dune. They do not contribute anything. It's like a great summary of the past. Now, let's
every prequel ever.
Yeah.
Let's go to our guest. Glenn, do you agree with Mr. Yonafui's statement? Because obviously you're somewhat familiar with Dune. How do you feel about
He's not wrong. Like, you can say that about most prequels. And you're right. They won't serve much anything, but I still find the little stories in there interesting. Especially with the shit going with Shaddam and he's trying to poison his father.
So
how Duncan came along, that does interest me, and it interests a lot of people. So a lot of people like prequels because they like a little more further insight on how characters came to be.
Well, I think also if we think about prequels for another Space Up or Star Wars, this prequel actually is faithful to the original source material, whereas the Star Wars prequels were just almost destroyed the characters and made you hate it. I think at best you'll be bored with this, but it's written in a way that if the original Dune's too dense for you, you might actually prefer the prequel books to Dune itself.
So that's probably where my criticism comes in, is that this feels like supplementary material. None of these storylines have any weight to them. I don't understand the urgency or the tension of anything that's happening, except for what happens to Duncan Idaho, who seems to have the only real threat, impending doom that he has to contend with.
Well, I would say the Leto storyline will pick up because he discovers something, I guess, at the end of the fourth book, which they're
on issue 6 now. That one definitely picks up. I won't spoil it. So it did get a lot better, but that's one of.
Yeah,
I'll agree. It's one of my least favorite ones, and the stuff with the Kynes, the planetologist, I could not give a shit for him. His storyline.
That's interesting, Glenn, because on the previous review show, I was trying to get a feel for who the actual main protagonist of this story is, and
I don't think there is one.
Yeah, Well-Read previously said maybe the planetologist was the easiest to relate to. So you just mentioned you don't really care for the planetologist. Who do you feel what character do you relate to most in these books? Who are you most invested in seeing in the books?
I would say Duncan, because there wasn't a whole lot of him in some of the movies. I feel like he was kind of unexplored, but he was like the soldier badass that came along, and then he gets killed in the movies. I think it's the same way in the books. I can't remember. He just goes down. So I'm interested in see what happened to him. And the Harkonnens killed his family, so he's got plenty of motivation to join up with Duke Leto or his house in the fight against him with them, because they're bitter enemies. House Atreides, House Harkonnen, they hate each other.
Yeah, Well-Read previously described this series as palace intrigue, which is similar to Game of Thrones. Right. Is that something that interests you, Glenn? Do you enjoy seeing these noble houses vying with backroom deals? Yeah, so it is interesting subject matter.
Like, I find the plot with the Emperor and his son trying to poison him, I think that's pretty interesting. I'm seeing how that plays out.
All right, so Moonshine or Lightning Shine. What happens in issue 3? I guess without spoiling anything for people who want to check it out themselves, give us just a brief synopsis. What threads are continued from issue 1 and 2 in this book?
So the planetologist is at the end, but we can go there. So he wants to meet the Freeman, so he's exploring the planet. And this actually, the scene that plays out actually is described briefly in the original Dune. He stumbles across the Harkonnens and the Freemen fighting. As he's watching it, he decides to take the side of the Freeman, and he kills the Harkonnen and saves the Freeman's life. So they take them back to their, whatever it's called, Sayach. It's where they essentially live, like underground, secretive secretive way. So it's where they are, and that's where he wants to go because he wants to know about their society. So they agree, essentially. Well, I guess they agree in the next book, but that's his question he poses to them after he saves their life. Duncan, Idaho, he's on. It's pretty much most dangerous game. He's being hunted, but he traps one of his hunters and kills him, and he gets his weapon. So that's where he ends. So now he's got some way to fight back. Leto finally gets to see the planet. It's not a deserted wasteland. All the city is actually underground on this 9 machine planet. And he meets the Duke's son and his daughter and the Duke. And then he gets introduced to their spaceship, which is the one the Emperor and the Duke were arguing about earlier because they get less taxes from it, supposedly. And then there's Baron Harkonnen is arguing about how he doesn't want to procreate with the whatever the
Bene Gesserit.
Bene Gesserit. Yeah. So I think that covers mostly what happens in book 3.
Okay, we have a few comments from the chat. Mr. Yonafui says, it is a boring prequel, just that. So, Mr. Yonafui, not a fan of House Atreides. James Hayes says, it's a plot book rather than a character story.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Testify HD says, nothing is worse than a stupid blind cat trying to talk about comics.
Thanks,
Testify,
buddy.
Be nice, Testify. You don't be a bully. Now, I want to touch on James Hayes' comment because he raised this last week. Glenn, do you agree? Do you feel like the main draw of Dune is not so much the characters themselves, but the plot? The plot is what keeps you interested.
Yeah, I agree with him. It's it's just multiple story threads that are going on. It's not. It didn't seem to me that it was focused on one specific character that was the big hero, or I had more significant over the other. Just some were better than the other, but
previously I'd asked Well-Read and Lightning Shine, since there's so many characters and so many locations, do you feel like the story sometimes loses focus, or do the writers and artists do a good job of keeping you informed? Do you ever feel confused reading the book?
I didn't feel too confused, but that might be because I'm a little more familiar with it than, let's say, someone that's not familiar with Dune reading it. But at the same time, I think maybe they did too many of them. Maybe they should have either left some out or made extra books where they just condensed it a little bit. Like I said before, and Yonafui says something about it too, where the planetology is not so important for Dune. It's I mean, he's like in the movies and to an extent in the books later on. Before see, when was that? When House Atreides had control of Arrakis, and everybody gets killed. Then Paul joins the Fremen. Professor Kynes, the planetologist, all he did was show them how to use the suits and introduce them to the Fremen. There wasn't a whole lot of importance to him. It didn't feel like it, except for being Shawnee's mother, the chick that Paul ends up banging. So
okay.
I didn't care for him, so I don't care too much for his story.
Well, to contrast with your opinion, Well-Read, you previously expressed that you felt the planetologist was the most relatable character and the one that you felt you were most invested in. Do you still agree with that? Is his story still the thread that you're most interested in, or did some of the other characters have time to shine in your eyes in this third issue?
Well, no, I don't. I'm not as interested in the planetologist after these 2 issues as I was before, but I think it's because the other characters were just so uninteresting. He was the only one that had any interest. Here, I mean, Duncan, Idaho, everybody has stated that he's the most easily relatable character, but only because he's in a very simplistic, desperate situation. Everybody else is still going through a lot of narrative to really establish the tension.
Yeah, going through the motions.
Yeah, and so you don't really feel anything for any of those characters because you don't really understand what their motivations are. All very superficial. I mean, the 2 The son that's plotting against the father to kill him, and then to start genetically engineering spice. I mean, his motivation is what? That he thinks his father is old and doesn't deserve to rule anymore. So there's nothing really personal there. You don't really understand why he'd go to the extent of killing him. Why can't he just wait around for the old guy to die? So the characters are a little flat to me. And honestly, the confusion part for me came in on the fourth issue, where maybe I just don't understand the world of Dune. But there's these aspects where it's really advanced, but then it's also really primitive. They have people that are living on the surface of Dune. They've supposedly been mining this spice for centuries, I think I read. But they have these nomads that they still haven't found a way to interact and communicate with, and this planetologist is the first one to do so after hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mining this like super necessary resource on this planet, and then it gets into another storyline in the fourth issue that we can mention when we talk about that book, that also just seemed to be out of place for a society that's supposed to have so much technological advancement.
I mean, you have to realize though that they can't have thinking machines, and this is plenty of Dune backstory. So it is very serious because the machines tried to take over. So they had to.
Yeah, they did a Skynet, and they had to fight back against the machines. So it's extremely illegal to make what in the Dune universe they call thinking machines.
Yeah, so they have to do everything that they're in the future, but they also don't have even like computers that we have. So it's kind of like intentional. That's Frank Herbert wrote it this way because he didn't want to delve into the computer aspects of society. He wants this to be in the future, but still kind of have like the fantastical elements of myths. So it's intentionally written to be this way. You may not like it, but that's the way the Dune universe is.
Well, it reminds me of the I know Wiggle Wiggle will probably love this and Testify will hate it, but it actually reminds me of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, where in that it's very technologically advanced, but at the same time very feudal, and there's no thinking machines in that because a similar situation occurred. So it's not an unusual premise. I think it's
well, I think at the time it was. I'm pretty sure Frank Herbert kind of like came up with this idea.
Okay. I feel like we've talked about the story enough, unless you guys have anything specific
and
you'd like to
Dungeon
mention.
Master says he likes it that way. So,
Mr. Yanafui said, I think the new movie, The Planetologist, is a black woman. I could be wrong. No, you are correct.
Wait,
yeah,
you're
correct.
But his prodigy... that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
maybe
I'm not very hopeful for that.
Maybe the
movie.
planetologist's daughter, I hope, because I think she marries... whatever.
No, it specifically is the
I just checked.
character.
I just checked IMDb. His name is Liette Kynes, and it has her listed as that character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Dune, he's the planetologist is dead at that point, right? So it's probably flashbacks.
So James Hayes comments in the chat, that's another page where the art, textures, colors are way hit or miss. Glenn, Well Read previously said he wasn't the biggest fan of the art on these books. He said they looked a little bit, the coloring was a bit dirty, a bit muddy. What do you think about the art overall?
That's definitely not my strong point, because I read comics, but it's more of an every now and again thing. And as long as it's not bleached in my eyes, I don't complain much. Like if it was some narwhal shit, then yeah, I probably wouldn't have even bothered reading it.
Oh, now come now, Glenn. I thought Narwhal was your favorite comic skate artist.
He is not. Yeah,
I
is not.
To say, whenever you do this guided view, if you look at it on the page, it doesn't look nearly as gritty. It's when you really zoom in that you see the grit. So, I mean, I think the colorist is being hurt by this guided view, zooming in so tightly on these images.
Oh, poor colorist.
The coloring and the art, I thought it was fine.
I don't really notice the grit on a physical medium looking at the page.
Well, Lightning Shine, you said that the grit served the book better on Arrakis, where it was more of a dusty, sandy place. Do you still feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I like the coloring throughout, honestly.
Okay.
I like the color palettes are chosen on Planet Nine. It's kind of got these deeper blues and purples, and then obviously you have the browns for the desert planet.
I feel like the faces are the real strong suit of this series. It seems like there's a lot of emotion conveyed on the faces of the characters. Well read. Do you agree with that statement? Do you feel empathy and understand the emotions that the characters are trying to put out through the art? Or
Yeah, I think the expressions are done well mostly. I've seen some misses for that as well. But yeah, for the most part, at least it's not stilted, and you don't feel like they're overly robotic and android-like or anything like that.
Risey says he's seen worse art.
well, that's because Risey is a backer of 499, and he's looking forward to it.
Well,
I bet 499. I'm looking forward to it if I was colorblind.
I was thinking of actually the Risey exclusive cover for White Lily. That had much worse art.
Oh shit!
Oh yes. Well, let's not talk about White Lily on this show anymore, because we'll be accused of being a gay op. So,
Mr. Yanafuya,
Coolers.
breaking news. Apparently, Baron Harkonnen is a transgendered Chinese communist.
oh god, this movie
No.
sounds like it's gonna be terrible.
No, they actually got a pretty good actor to play him. So
Is it a redhead though?
I can't remember if
They probably can just put a wig on him.
I'm trying to remember his name. Hold on a second. His last name's Skarsgård. He's the dad of the guy that played the It Clown. Stellan Skarsgård. Stellan.
Okay.
Okay, do we want to move on to the fourth book? Although a lot of these comments have been applicable to both.
Well, I mean, did anyone have anything they'd like to say about the third issue in closing? Well read. Was there any art pages that you felt weren't really quite up to snuff, or any story elements that you were disappointed in?
No, actually, I liked the third issue overall. I didn't notice the lack of weight until the fourth issue, so I felt like it was continuing the threads I was interested in from the second very well, and giving them the right amount of attention to allow them to be expressed in an entertaining way.
I'm sorry. Dungeon Master Blaster says Baron Harkonnen played by Rose Tico. That was pretty good. Thank you, sir.
Well, maybe we'll have to do a viewing of this movie on the channel.
We also have DA Talk saying, thanks again for planning out the White Lily review with me. Dean, please, Dean, please. And Spirits... Oh, sorry.
Well, secrets are for back rooms, Dean, but he's not very good at that.
That's right.
Yeah. And
Spirit Scar asks, have you guys seen H.R. Geiger's designs for the Harkonnens back for the Jodorowsky Dune? Big Buddha-like structure for Castle Harkonnen with a tongue that would roll out for the ships. Any of you guys familiar with the any of that?
Yeah, actually, the Jodorowsky Dune is an amazing thing to behold. There's a whole documentary made about it. I mean, of all the discussion of Dune, that's the one I recommend checking out the most. I'm
gonna check that out. Damn.
Yeah, his stuff is really amazing. I'm gonna bring up an image actually really quick, but it would have been a visual feast, and it had an amazing cast, including Salvador Dali, in some pretty key roles there. So here's an example of one of the ships from his movie. Jodorowsky is a Mexican director, I believe. Some of the other movies he's made have been really, really unique and unusual. Definitely like the best of. I think he was making movies around the 60s. So definitely go check out his work. But that would have been one of the ships that he was planning.
It's colorful.
Yeah. He had a very trippy, unusual idea for how Dune could be represented.
looks like you just slap a rainbow flag on it and you'll be good to go.
I think it's what the kids call bisexual lighting, Glenn.
Oh,
I
thanks
think
for the
it was.
education.
I think it's what the '60s would call trippy.
And Spirit Scar says, "You can take my banner down." No,
His
Spirit
message.
Scar. I think we'll leave it up.
Yeah, sorry. There's a movie poster.
No,
that
that's
was
good.
pointing. Yeah.
Isaac could learn from that. That's how you color with solid colors.
Right.
Yeah, it looks nice.
And yeah, like I said, there's a documentary dedicated to his entire vision. Actually, here, I can quickly bring that up as well, if we have just 2 minutes. Or less than 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah, sorry. I'm not thinking in YouTube stream time. I'm thinking in...
Lightning impregnated Berserker's mother faster than that.
There you go.
Jesus.
So, Jodorowsky's Dune. It's the documentary of the pre-production that he had planned. It's an amazing watch.
Very interesting. Spirit Scar says, "I'll slap this guy in his place, bring up the Geiger designs." I'd just like to point out that this will be a typical well-read review show, and once we're done reviewing, the link will go in the chat. So if you want to come on and talk about Dune, or tell any of us that we suck, or bring up any of the recent drama, you'll all be more than welcome to do so. But I guess...
James Hayes says that's cool cover. See, yeah, he agrees with me.
Oh, crap. So he's Chilean. My apologies.
Whoa, that's a national pride, Mr. Yonafui. You've made a powerful enemy this day, well-read.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mr. Yanafui is actually Jodorowsky. Maybe we've doxed him again.
That'd be something else, wouldn't it? That's why he knows so much about Dune.
Oh, this is fascinating. His parents were Russian immigrants. Wow. That's really interesting.
A lot of Dune fans in the audience.
A lot of Jodorowsky fans.
Anyway, I guess moving along, I guess we should probably start getting into issue 4. Let's start with well-read, because I like picking on well-read because he's normally in the host position, so he rarely gets to express an opinion. Well-read. Same question as issue 3. Was issue 4 an improvement, or was it a problem? Because you did mention earlier that you felt like some of the plot elements in issue 4 had some problems. Would you like to express those?
Right. So I felt that issue 4 pretty much kept the same pacing as issue 3, but I was really surprised how little any of the stories had advanced. And this is what I was mentioning earlier, where I didn't feel like anything had any weight to it. So the whole storyline about breeding with one of the sisters to create, the genetic offspring of a savior, pretty much hadn't even wrapped up in the 3rd issue. It just kind of closed with a scene of her sitting on the bed, and you think, okay, something must have happened, and this will continue in the next issue. No, they're still arguing and debating, actually performing the act. And the big tense moment in that entire scene in this issue was the fact that there was a peeping Tom watching them do this.
Yeah, I would say that Peeping Tom is one of the famous characters. He's the Mintant of Harkonnen, which
Piter.
Yeah, he's like a crazy guy.
Well, so I'm coming at this as from the perspective of somebody who knows almost next to nothing about Dune. And so you can understand my frustration where I'm seeing these characters. I don't know all of this backstory. And I'm just thinking, in this story, this all feels really insignificant and kind of meandering.
Even if you know it, I agree with you on that one too, because I mean, it is interesting to see how that came about, because it's obvious, anyone that's kind of familiar with the movies and the books, this is how Jessica was born, because Harkonnen's her father, and that's the mother of the, I'm trying to say it right, Kwisatz Haderach that they're trying to produce.
Yeah, the Kwisatz Haderach, that's almost like this genetically engineered through eugenics Jesus-like figure, who I think ends up being Paul Atreides in the film.
That's Leto and Jessica's son.
Okay. Let's jump over to Lightning Shine. you want to give us just another quick synopsis of what occurs in the 4th issue? What plot threads are picked up?
So as Well-Read described the Harkonnen part that's happened. Duncan, Idaho, it's more battling, trying to escape. He catches them in another trap, and then he sees this ship, and there's someone on the ship that takes him, and it's revealed this person has a grudge against Harkonnen, so he's stealing his hunt, so just out of self-interest. But Duncan gets saved by that, and then he's shuttled off to someone that's headed to the Atreides planet. The planetologist gets into the Freeman Society. He's fascinated by it, and he has all these ideas, but the elders are upset that he's here because they revealed themselves to an outsider. There's a little more intrigue going on in the palace, but nothing too important. The best part about this book is the Planet 9 with Leto. So it starts off with him just kind of learning their society, and he's fighting this mech, which is like, isn't this kind of like a thinking machine? It's like it's supposed to anticipate human moves, and you're supposed to beat it, which I think is developed by the daughter. But then this story, actually, unlike other places, this one actually has a break, and then he gets back to it. Leto just wants to explore the planet, so he goes into like the lower class, and he stumbles upon like a unionization, and they're a revolt because they think they're making thinking machines, so they want to take down the society. And they spot him, and he runs away, and he escapes, and that's where it pretty much ends.
All right, Glenn, you previously mentioned a bit of the backstory on this thinking machine, I guess, policy that they have, no thinking machines. Did this subplot, was it tense? Did you believe what the characters were going through, that this color revolution, I guess, that they were organizing to take down this supposed machine, do the characters feel like they actually do fear these machines? Did the artists and writers make that seem believable, or did it just seem like fluff and filler?
Well, I don't think it's fluff, because there is legitimate fear, and it comes from not just the past, but from the religion. Like, it's an affront against God to have thinking machines too, and that's where a lot of the rebellion's coming from. But I think they're also being manipulated too. But I won't. It's later issues, and I don't want to, spoil anything.
Yeah, there's a little bit of setup with the with the palace plot. That's
it's connected to the shit going on at the palace. So the revolt, the plot with Planet 9, it's connected to the stuff going on with the palace.
Yeah, they actually mentioned the Orange Catholic Bible as being the moral code that they're standing by to not have thinking machines. So Liam apparently is responsible for all the ethics of Dune.
I was about to ask, the Orange Catholic Bible.
Yes.
What is that?
This is backstory, how religions form from space travel. It's kind of like the major religion is from the Orange Catholic Bible into the Dune universe.
Okay. Do we know anything about this Orange Catholic Bible? Like, how does it differ from traditional Catholicism, or is it just something that's mentioned?
It's not Christianity. It's a hodgepodge of religion. It's Catholic because it means, universal.
It feels like to me it's kind of Catholic stuff and Muslim stuff, or Islam, or whatever you want to say it. Yeah, it's all squished together because they talk about a jihad going down to.
Yeah, well, that's just something I noticed. The Freemen often talk about a jihad, and we all know what that is.
It does come to pass.
Yeah,
those are like a universal bloodbath in the later books.
Those aren't the Freemen. That's the Planet 9 kind of underclass there.
Okay.
So this group actually confused me also. So they're the ones actually responsible for building the machines?
Yeah, they just do the labor, essentially.
And they're a society unto themselves, and they're getting ready to rebel here, and there's no oversight or control on them. They just operate under their own accord.
I think that this suggested they're meeting in secret because this is like their living quarters.
Right. And they also Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it does seem like that. It's like it doesn't go into a whole lot about these people, but it does to some extent. They had some outside help, and it'll show it. I think I can't remember if it's at the end of this issue or the next to Lilacs, if I'm saying that right. The guys they're meeting with about the synthetic spice. Well, they had a hand in this revolt too.
Yeah, the Tilex are like experts at biochemistry.
Mm-hmm.
That race, they're a separate race, but
yeah, they got some nice tech shit, and they're known as the universal scumbags. We're trying to manipulate shit, so they're probably backing up these guys too, and it makes that a little bit more clear as it goes forward.
Now, it sounds like Lightning, Shine, and Glenn both have a fair grasp of what's going on, since they know a lot of the backstory. Well read, as someone who's, I guess, is in a similar position to me of just having watched the David Lynch film, how easy is it to follow along all these characters and all these plot points and all these different organizations with their goals and motives? How does it feel coming into this just from watching the film? Is it confusing?
No, I think it's fairly straightforward to follow, and actually the plot points are all woven together kind of nicely. I can see where they're all starting to intersect. I think just my main issue is there are some illogical pieces there, mainly because I don't have backstory, and everything lacks weight. There's absolutely no urgency to anything that's happening anywhere here, and the situations that do have urgency, you don't understand why they do. This Duncan Idaho character is just arbitrarily being hunted, and then when he escapes, the reason he escapes is because some mysterious person is just wanting to mess with the Harkonnen family.
Yeah, some woman shows up out of nowhere. I came here to mess with him. Get on the ship. You're saved now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that definitely threw me off. I didn't like that.
But then he's going to be delivered to, I forget, I think he's going to Planet 9 as well. Wasn't he going to meet the Earl?
No, he's going to the Atreides home planet, Caladan.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, so everything intersects. At least there's that aspect to it. But there's nothing really to tether you that strongly, unless you like seeing a lot of plot lines that go through the paces, have a little bit of tension, not a lot of importance, and come together in a logical way.
I will say, like, issue 4 is probably the weakest that I've read so far.
Even weaker than issue 1?
Maybe a little better than issue 1, but issue 4 is definitely a low point once the story starts going.
I was about to say we have some comments from the chat. Mr. Yonafui says, "I will join you, but my slow and monotonous voice, I'd bore you all."
Yeah, no one could tell the difference between me and Yonafui, so.
Mr. Yonafui, you'd be among friends here with your monotone voice. Just ask Piper. We also have a comment from Testify HD, and he says, "God, I am loving this review. I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm on the edge of my seat." Testify, please, sir. Calm down. Please.
Oh, he has a comment to Risey. Do you want to read that?
Oh, he says to Risey, "My good friend Risey Lee, I always am pleased to hear what you have to say." Oh, that's so sweet.
Wow.
Little romance in the chat.
Yeah,
nice.
just a little romance. So, I guess I'm confused a bit with these books because there's a lot of opinions going on. It seems like well-read's kind of sort of towards them, whereas Lightning, Shine, and Glenn, I think, are more invested. What would improve this book in your mind, well-read? What could the writers do to make this series better, or what are they doing wrong?
Honestly, I understand that the Dune series is not meant to be a character study, but having one grounded character that you can kind of follow along and want to see how they come out of all of these circumstances would be nice, would be helpful. Not just seeing the circumstances themselves play out with a lot of meaningless characters who you're totally indifferent, whether they live, whether they die, whether they fail or succeed. But having something where you feel like there is something important, something for you to support and want to see resolved.
I would say well-read will like this better once he reads the next two.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, Lightning Shine. I guess the same question. Is there any weaknesses in this story that you can identify, or could you understand where Well-Read's coming from?
It's just the bridging section of the story. That's the problem. If maybe if you were focused on one story, you could get a more complete arc. But I mean, everything makes sense. It's just nothing. The only thing that really is exciting is the revolution, and as far as you could tell, it's maybe not even that exciting. Maybe he's going to go to the Duke and they squash it the next issue. So, and then Duncan's story is kind of weird because yes, he just gets saved by someone that doesn't like the Harkonnens.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And what about you, Glenn? I mean, it sounds like you're enjoying it for the most part, but are there any areas where you feel like it's not quite up to scratch?
For the most part, I agree with the Moonshine. Like I don't particularly dislike all the different stories, and I can see where Well-Read is coming from. Why he's not too big on it, which is fine. I like shit like this, but yeah, it did feel fairly weak. The only one I was really interested in was the incoming revolution, and that does get a good bit better. Well, I enjoyed it in the later issues.
The answer
What
to
happens?
Crab's credit. Yeah, it's written by his son and Kevin Anderson, which is the same as the novels.
Oh, wow, I didn't know
Brian
that.
Herbert, yeah, is his son.
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm almost tapped out of questions for the story, so unless anyone has any specific points they'd like to raise, I guess we could move on to the art again.
I mean, I don't think there's much difference in the art in the fourth issue compared to the third. I didn't notice much difference.
I do like the tech in this series, and I like the cityscapes. So even though I'm not a huge fan of the colors, I do like some of the designs. I think they're very unique and interesting.
Yeah, there's usually always establishing shot for each planet, and they're pretty cool. I feel like you find the Catan one, that one was particularly neat looking. It's on page 16. No,
This one?
17. Yeah,
Yep.
I thought that was an nice starscape, and then the city. Good proportions. You got your third.
Now, I guess I can only direct this to Lightning Shine since he's the only one that's read the book, but from the descriptions of like the ships and the tech and the planets in the books, would you say that the comic book is doing an accurate representation of them with the artwork, or are they coming up with their own designs? Because I know one of the previous criticisms with the David Lynch film was that the designs didn't match what was originally in the novel. For example, I think the ships were supposed to be almost bird-like and have flapping wings or something like that.
I mean, I don't remember it enough to have any particular opinion on what the ships are supposed to look like. I assume they had to come up with a lot of it itself. Obviously, it's just words, and they have to get a picture out of it. But it seems Dune-like to me. It seems like it fits what I know about Dune.
Glenn, I don't know how much of the books or the source material you're familiar with, but
yeah, I don't remember much either. There's only, as far as the ship designs and the costumes, I can't really tell you a whole lot. The only differences I can remember really hard sales about Baron Harkonnen, but as far as the art design, I'm with the Well-Read and Moonshine. I can't really add a whole lot. I think the ships look great. I think the backdrops look pretty good. I think with the art design, with the costumes and cityscapes, I think they did really great.
okay. Well, Well-Read, at this point in the fourth issue, is the art starting to grow on you? I mean, I know you've been critical of it in the previous issues, but after now reading 4 of these, are you starting to be a bit more open to it, or is it still something that you're just not really that impressed with in terms of the coloring?
Well, the coloring is nice in some areas. I find it suitable, but I'm still amazed when I find misses, like really big misses in the art. I know we mentioned that the faces can be expressive, and they do that adequately, but I also find a few panels where it's almost cartoonish. It's silly. So I give the artist maybe a 5 for competency. It's not the best art, but maybe I'm a harsh critic in that regard. The colors are nice. The designs are nice, though. There are just some finishes that I think look very grainy.
Okay. Well, we are coming up onto the hour mark, and the chat's getting restless. I'd like to briefly talk about the quality of the books, but unless anyone had anything else specific they'd like to say about issue 4 before we get to our final verdicts, please raise that now. Don't everybody jump out and shout out at once.
I got nothing else, buddy.
All right,
So you got to call names.
Okay, I guess moving on to the quality of the books then. Glenn, are you buying these in the comic book shops? Are you reading digitals? How are you reading these?
I'm reading digitals.
Okay, and what's your opinion on the quality of the digital? Are they high resolution? Does the art come through well?
Yeah, it's high res for my end, and art comes through just fine.
Okay, well read. I think you're reading these digital as well on Comixology. Are you still happy with the guided view and the quality of the PDFs you're reading?
Oh yeah, I actually love the paneling and going through the story. I really feel immersed doing that. So it's a really nice experience.
Okay, and Lightning Shine. I think you're the only one who's actually buying the physicals in comic book shops. Are the books maintaining a standard of quality, or are they dipping? Like, there's no ink coming off on your fingers. There's no. I think you previously said it was similar to a matte style interior paper, and the covers were heavier.
Yeah, it's like a cardstock for a cover, so it's not just a thicker paper. It's the same as before. It's still $5 if you buy it in the stores, but it's a pretty high quality comic, and you have to realize Boom Studios doesn't really have ads. It has a couple pages of selling their own product, but unlike a Marvel or DC, you won't have a ad for a shoe in the middle of your book, so you never get interruptions. So if that annoys you, then you don't have to worry about that.
All right. Well, it's that time of the show which everybody loves, aside from when the StreamYard link gets thrown in the chat and you can come on and tell us that we're a bunch of idiots.
Oh, shit.
It's the final verdicts and scores. So I guess Glenn's our guest, so he can go first. Glenn, you missed the previous show where we reviewed 1 and 2. I don't know if you believe in doing scores. I like giving scores. Lightning Shine doesn't really enjoy giving them. Well Red's given scores, but I guess what's your opinions, or I guess your verdict on issue 1, 2, 3, and 4? If you had to give a score out of 10, or if you have anything specific to say about them,
I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Is that for the series as a whole so
It's
far?
as a whole, yeah, as a whole. I mean, obviously, there might be some issues. Everyone said 4 is a little weaker, and I don't disagree. But as a whole, so far, it's 8 out of 10 for me. I don't have any complaints about the art, or I like the storylines for the most part.
And would you recommend this to anyone, or would you just recommend it to Dune fans or comic book readers?
I'd recommend it to anyone. I think some of the for anyone that likes that Game of Thrones backdoor plotting shit going on, then I think they'd enjoy this.
Okay. Well read. Let's go with you. I think previously you said issue 1 got a 5, I want to say, out of 10, and I think issue 2 got a 6, if I'm remembering correctly. How did you feel about issue 3 and 4?
3 I'd give a 7. 4 I'd give a 5. Pretty strong dip, in my opinion. Only because it didn't continue the story at all.
And it didn't touch upon the sisterhood, which I think was your favorite aspect of issue 2.
I thought there was potential there, and now I'm just completely disinterested in that entire storyline. I do not care about them copulating and making the new savior. I'm more interested in the rebellions that Glenn was talking about, but I don't think that they're really well established yet. I'm curious, though, to see where it might end up going.
And I think you mentioned that your previous character that you were most invested in, the planetologist, you've kind of fallen off with him as well. You think that Duncan Idaho is kind of moving into the character that you're most invested in now?
I think so, because I don't really see much happening with Leto either. I don't think that character has developed very much since the first issue.
God,
Duncan
he still
at least-
hasn't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to spoil anything. It's Leto
I mean-
gone anywhere.
I get the impression he's supposed to be training and coming into his own and being more of a man, but I don't really feel that in any of his experiences. And I think Duncan definitely has a little bit more that he has to go through, a little more desperation and uncertainty. And yeah, is it a planetologist they're calling him? But
I think so.
Yeah, it is.
yeah. That one really almost seems ridiculous at this point. He's in this rebellion group, or this nomad group, and he wants to befriend them, where they're saying to him, we're going to evaluate whether or not you'll be judged. So he just seems really naive and kind of unsuited for his role. So I'm not interested in that character very much anymore either.
Okay. And I know Lightning Shine just loves to give scores out of 10s for his book. Lightning Shine, what do you think of issue 3 and 4? I guess I'm only joking about the scores, but how do they compare to the previous 2 issues in this series?
As I've already hinted, issue 4 is kind of a letdown, but I think thus far issue 3 is probably the best.
Okay, yeah, I think Well Read agreed with you. He gave it a 7. At this point,
I really like the cover. I mean, Jay Lee was the first 2 issues, but I think the issue 3 may be the best cover of all 6 of them I've seen so far.
okay. And can you? I know you're the one that actually suggested we review Dune, and I think you're heavily invested in it. Do you kind of see where Well Read is coming from? I mean, can you understand maybe like some of the critiques he's bringing up as someone who's not completely invested in the Dune universe?
I think there's just some letdowns in issue 4, and like he says, well, nothing's happening. Well, then 5 and 6 things happen. It's just stopping at 4 is probably an unfortunate consequence of thinking nothing happens.
Okay. Well, I guess that's our Dune review, folks. I know you all enjoyed it, especially Testify HD. As always, the StreamYard link has been put in the chat. So if you've watched the movie, if you like Dune, or if you've read the comic books, and you want to come on and tell us that we're all morons and we're getting it wrong, or if you want to come on and say whatever you want, feel free. I know there was a pretty dramatic Vicky and Dean stream earlier, so I guess if people would like to come on and talk about that too, it's going to be inevitable. So again, link is in the chat. Feel free to jump on. And
God damn.
what's up, Glenn?
Pull that chat up, the last one by Vic. I like that
from
one.
Vic.
Yeah.
Vic says, "God damn, you sound like Spawn's voice actor on my desktop's
Speakers?
Well Read, and Smug Pug, kind of like Warwick Davis Leprechaun." What the fuck? Thank you, Vic.
I guess Hothead enjoyed our review. At least there's one person.
All right, Spirit Scar. What would you like to talk about?
I liked a little bit about Dune. Actually, I haven't read these comics. I probably won't ever read them. It's just, what's the point? The books exist, you know. But I'm a fan of the David Lynch version of the film, by the way, and because it's a beautifully made film. And yeah, it's not perfect. There's flaws. There's a lot of scenes missing. There's massive studio interference. But that is like a gorgeously made film. The art direction, the cinematography.
That's great.
Anyone who loves movies, you should watch that film because there's so much to get out of that David Lynch version. That's Castle Harkonnen for Jodorowsky's Dune that never came to be.
I agree. I only watched the David Lynch movie, I think like a week or two ago after we'd done our first show. And I agree, coming in with like not reading the books or anything, like I thought it was really nice, like the sets, the sound effects, like the the props, like everything looked really, really great. Like I liked it.
And there's this kind of strangeness to it, and I know why they picked David Lynch to direct that, because in the books it's the whole thing, the spice melange. It's like a narcotic that affects your consciousness, and David Lynch is this like surrealist filmmaker, so he did fit in with that. But there was just like interference from the studio. They made the movie way too short, so it feels super long, even though it's only like 2 hours and 20 minutes. They should have let him make it, 3 hours or whatever, how long he needed to make it. But it's a strange film.
A comment from Vicky, well read.
Oh shit.
I don't know what this is about, actually. It's some kind of joke between Peeg and Vicky, so I'm going to stay out of this. Vicky, you're welcome.
I was told I was unwelcome. I'm just joking, Vicky. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I tell you what, well, Rude, kick me out of the host position and put me on the bottom of the screen. I'm in the doghouse. This is your show again now. I retire.
Well, there we go.
I'll put the link out again.
And so this Giger design too, that's for Castle Harkonnen, and Giger discovered like H.R. Giger, because he's just this worldly man of culture, and he had Mobius involved. He had Salvador Dali, who was going to play the Emperor. And when that movie fell apart, he also had Dan O'Bannon, who's the writer who wrote Alien, and he also wrote for Heavy Metal Magazine. So when this production fell apart, Dan O'Bannon met H.R. Giger through this production, and he brought H.R. Giger's artwork to Ridley Scott. And so Alien very much exists directly because of Jodorowsky's Dune. Giger and Dan O'Bannon, the writer, both coming off of that production.
Someone, Jace Hayes, writing comments about Zach, but I thought Zach did that like a year ago. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, he was also going to have a... What's that?
Is it this comment?
This comment. And I think that happened a year ago, but I don't know.
I think this is a new development, actually. Something just came up.
No, did he delete more content now or something?
I think Zach is acting a little bitch-made, lately, so who knows.
Well, do we know how much Villeneuve, I think that's the name of the new director, how much is he taking from Jodorowsky's Dune? Is he borrowing anything from there?
I doubt it. Or maybe, I don't know. Can't say.
It's not stunning and brave enough, so I don't know.
Jodorowsky was also going to have Orson Welles in it to play Baron Harkonnen. And the documentary is amazing because you see how he assembled all this amazing talent. He was going to have Pink Floyd was going to do part of the soundtrack, and it was insane.
Shit!
I mean, this was like so epic. This is before Star Wars even. So I mean, this was like something like no one had ever seen anything like this or attempted anything like it. So of course the financiers chickened out and pulled out the last minute. But it would have been
that was
incredible.
During the dark times where nobody liked science fictions.
Well, it wasn't taken seriously,
Right, yeah.
So to spend that kind of money on something like that and treat it like that.
I'm just happy to say Pink Floyd was not involved in more stuff because Pink Floyd sucks.
Wow.
It's a hot take, but okay.
Get the hell off this show, Lightning Shine. Get out of here.
I'm correct. Pink Floyd, 0 out of 10.
I think
there's a blood feud brewing now.
I think you're incorrect.
There's more blood sports now. Forget Jazz Crab and Finatra. It's Peeg and Lightning Shine. What the fuck, man?
You're just learning this peak about lightning.
Oh, this is a
revelation.
It's a revelation.
It would be great if Vicky could jump in and give us a little synopsis on what happened with Jazz Crab and Finatra, because I mean,
the chat wants to talk about.
Well,
Zach.
she knew about your boy Zach too. She
filled
us in too. So if she was willing to come in and
I don't know anything about it. I rarely watch Zach videos unless he reviews something I'm interested in. No, I don't care about it
no more.
His general commentary stuff just doesn't interest me. So
yeah, I haven't watched a Your Boy Zach video in a very long time.
Yeah,
so,
same here.
If anybody knows, StreamYard link is in the chat. Come on, tell us, yell at us.
I'm more interested in what this shit with Vicky and Mandy is. Did one of you simp for Mandy? Huh?
Oh, we covered it on the last stream.
It was
the TLDR, Glenn, is that Vicky needs to apologize. She needs to come on here and apologize for what she said to Queen Mandy.
Who gives a shit about Mandy?
Essentially, Mandy was posing in her underwear, and Vicky said, "Oh, great way to sell books or something."
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And that was pretty hilarious.
Well, Mandy's selling herself as a children's author, but she's parading around like a harlot, in order to do that. So
this is an H.R. Geiger worm.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. That's pretty
Like
sweet.
Definitely
Like
see
a-
the alien influence.
Like a big old penis.
With teeth on it.
Your penis doesn't look like that.
Fuck.
Well, that's between me and my maker. Huh?
Yeah.
The story
Gross.
of how he got Salvador Dali involved in Jodorowsky's Dune, by the way, is so funny. Dali demanded to be the highest paid actor of all time. Just so
I
ridiculous.
think you should highlight Mr. Dong's comment. He's explaining the whole situation.
Fuck's sake.
That sums it up.
Sketch therapy.
Dali wanted to be like the most highest paid actor of all time, so they just they figured a way to they convinced him well, you're only gonna have 2 minutes of screen time, so we're gonna pay you this much money, and they reasoned it in a way so it made sense to him, even though it's gonna take more than 2 minutes for him to work there, but they just needed to placate his ego so they could make him think, yeah, you'll be the highest paid actor of all time.
Well, James Hayes says Mandy should apologise to Vickyverse. James, that is incorrect. Vicky needs to come on here, apologise to Mandy. She's jealous, she's mean, she's bitter.
How
Stay away from my queen,
fucking
Vicky.
dare you? And I was saying just
Oh,
the other
boy.
day that you are one of the only 2 Australians left in Australia that makes Australian CG look good. And you're going to shit on Vicky like that? How dare you?
I disagree with Hothead Studios. I love Mandy Simps because it was hilarious watching Vicky just eat them alive.
And welcome to the show, Simple Jack. I think first time being on the show. Welcome,
Hello,
sir.
how's it going, guys?
Welcome.
Yeah, good.
Hey.
How's my audio?
Good.
Fine.
It's
Sound
fucking,
good to
that's
me.
actually really good.
Oh, okay. I thought I had a bad mic earlier on Finatra's show. So maybe it's my mic. So I had a question about what do you think it's going to take to CG to grow? I've noticed our numbers have kind of gotten stale. We've kind of hit a max. With backers and everything. We're at 1,500 is the max number for backers on a comic that's successful, and that's multiple people backing the same campaign.
Hey,
They
I
gotta
have
grow
a-
their YouTube channels.
Yeah, I have an opinion on that. I think Comicsgate needs to return to talking about the mainstream. Like when Comicsgate first started growing, they were talking about how bad the mainstream is. But if you watch a lot of the, oh my God, that's an ugly man holding a beautiful fish.
Testify. You need a sandwich. What the hell,
Look
man?
at that shining forehead. Jesus
Throw the
Christ.
man back, keep the fish.
That shirt is just draped on you.
Hey there.
Is it Tug Lee? Is this Tug now?
Oh no, I'm Risey's good friend, right? Randy Lee.
I don't know Randy. I've never met a fucking Randy in my life.
Are you
So
guys
according,
brothers?
Yeah.
Randy,
Rising, you met
where's
Randy
your thumb?
Savage.
Is it
according,
the fish's bum?
Well, I'm Randy Lee. How you all doing?
according to Mr. Dong, statistically CG is in decline now.
That's what I've
It
kind
is.
of noticed. It's
Yeah, well, going back to your question, Comicsgate just does these shill streams now, and they only talk about Comicsgate. So if you're just someone who's dissatisfied with Marvel and DC, and you come across a Comicsgate stream where they're just talking about themselves and not the issues that matter to them, I think that's what they need to do. They need to return to talking about DC and Marvel and providing Comicsgate as an alternative, instead of just promoting Comicsgate without any context
And I
at all.
think Ethan actually does that probably more than anyone. If you're just going to talk about pop culture, and he does sell more than everyone else. So
And Big Daddy has a point. There's late campaigns, so when you have people in Comicsgate acting really fucking retarded,
Okay,
Screwing with
now I'm going to
backers.
cut you off here, Glenn, because you're living in 2017, 18, 19,
face
and I
is
would go into the
2017.
early 20. Things have changed now. Let the old shit go.
No,
I mean-
never.
I mean,
I'll never let it go. Vicky
Let
needs to
it
apologize to
go.
Mandy. Come on here and apologize, Vicky.
we're
I
still
will
ripping
say
on
this
Lee. I mean, he did
also.
that shit too, didn't he?
Well, I
I
think the
would-
bigger problem is Zach just not fulfilling Expendables and Jawbreakers. I think
Oh,
that's a big-
Expendables, man. I want that. I'm waiting for that book.
I will say this. I think another problem is the creators themselves don't take themselves seriously.
They don't
people
act
getting
like professionals at all.
professional-
That is
yeah,
true.
people getting drunk on stream, yelling, screaming, watching,
Wait,
stupid
shit.
videos.
What was that? Shut against Razi?
Bio gay
No.
ops.
You're not a creator. You're not a creator. You know, and
Yeah,
then
no.
accusing
People selling
accusing
books.
the accusing
I
accusing
was
their backers,
cleaning.
accusing their backers.
I was cleaning up DC's toilets long before all of this.
Yeah, I
Risey,
mean, like,
you've never
Thank you
cleaned a
for your
toilet in your
service.
life.
if you don't, present yourself as a professional creator, then anybody new coming in is going to be like, I don't want a part of it. This is too much drama for me to get into. This is too weird.
But the drunken streams
then
are
they're
so
gonna
fun
take
too, and they are engaging, and so it's a balancing act because people
but,
do
but
like
it's an
that stuff.
inside joke, right? It's an inside joke. I'm saying
Well,
for
there's also
anybody
like
new
a
coming in.
familiarity that develops, you know.
Yeah,
so.
no. Basically, what Ammon's saying is that any new person coming into this, seeing that sort of thing, and like everyone's just yelling and drunk and like the creators per se, and they're doing that. It's off-putting for customers because they're like, why would I send this person money?
Especially
streams
something
where it's like Liberace outfits though, and like totally over the top. I don't know how someone tuning in for the first time reacts when they see Ethan wearing some flamboyant cape and hat. You know, it's like.
No. When I mean something like the Jack Show. You know, I don't think that helps any creator.
Yeah, the Jack Show is degenerate. I will agree with that.
Yeah, but that
fuck is Jack?
To be fair to the Jack Show, that is meant to be a degenerate show, you know.
That's their brand.
Yeah.
My
So,
brand.
Right. It starts rubbing off on the creators too. You know, like if anybody normal, like
yeah,
if you're
it does.
if you're a parent and you want to invest into comics for your kids, you know, you're not gonna watch it. You're gonna be like, these are the people I'm supposed to buy books from. Just
Yeah, like Shane Davis is selling a kid's book, and he does get drunk on stream and act a fool sometimes. So
Yeah, but
there's that.
I don't want to bring him up because I've been canceled by his wife. So you know.
You mean his what did you call his wife again, Ahmed?
I can't
I think
say.
it was.
You can say it
I think
here.
it was.
I won't kick
It was the Butterface.
Oh,
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
What is that? When you mean when everything looks good, but her face?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Jeez.
So
Hello,
what do you
Vicky.
think
How are
about
you?
that, Vicky?
So are we gonna have some Vicky versus Smug Pug here?
Hold on, we need
It
to let
depends.
Vicky and
Is-
Smug Pug talk.
It depends. Is Vicky ready to apologize to
Oh
me?
my!
Don't do it, Vicky.
Stand your ground, Vicky.
She's not
Where is
apologizing.
Vicky? She's taking a vow of silence. She will not apologize.
That's a silence of shame because she is ashamed of.
That's
How
the
dare
silence of
you? How
resistance.
dare you? How dare you?
James,
shit
yes.
on-
That's the silence
I
of
know-
defiance.
on
One second,
Queen
guys.
of SVU.
One
She
I'm
is
just.
the-
I want to
Vicky
reply to
is the
James
best,
Hayes'
And
comment.
she will not be silenced by people.
James,
Apparently, I'll be silenced by my mic though, but not by anybody
do
else.
I know how to make butter? Yes. You go to the grocery store and you buy it, and then you just use it. That's how you make butter.
But Smug, I am revoking your Vimp card permanently.
Ha!
You
Suck
deserve
on
it.
that, Smug!
That's it. I'm not apologizing.
That's
Nor
fine.
should
Boom.
you, yeah.
You know
I'm
what?
a-
Now
I'm
I definitely. You
I'm
know
a
what?
Vimp
Now
man,
Razi is officially a Vimp. You know?
Oh, thank you.
You're already
Ryan.
a Vimp,
I
Risey.
respect the fact that you stood up for yourself when you were called out by this dirty, dirty little pup.
I
on
know
his
that dirty dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a mongrel, you know.
I will say this.
Even his bitch
Oh,
mother
God.
called him a bitch.
Right,
Oh,
well,
God
man.
damn it!
So red.
Ahmed, you see
I did
that?
not share this.
Oh my God.
I like
Who the-
Shane
who is
Davis's
this?
face.
God damn it,
Oh
please.
man. Well read.
He's like, how did I get here?
Guys,
Well,
Who is
well,
this?
we had a good run, guys, but
I'm guessing Shane Davis will not be appearing on this program.
Evidently not.
Well, Yanzi has banned me from the chat multiple times, so
Oh,
it's
Yossi wanted to
fine.
ban me from her channel too, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
did she
I
get
do.
like an allergic reaction? Why is her face so puffy?
I just now noticed her face. What the fuck are those teeth?
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't
Well-
watch any of their content, so I have I don't know.
I don't know who they are.
I like
goofy,
watching
funny
Shane
sometimes. He's a good
Davis.
artist.
I like watching Shane Davis. I think he's a good artist,
Shane's
and
cool. He's a good
he
artist.
also makes me look good because he's fallen over many times drunk on the stream,
And Shane
people don't
stopped
seem to clip that.
Shane stopped Yanzi from blocking me too, so he stuck up for me when Yanzi was
Yeah,
I would
blocking
just,
from their
I would
channel.
just like to say on behalf of Lightning Shine and myself, who would like to have a future in CG, that well-read screen share right now.
I love Shane Davis. I'm not giving him shit. I love him.
This does not represent 2/3 of our show, so.
This was on Twitter. I'm
2/3
just
of our
showing a
show?
recent picture of them out on a date, and I thought we could talk about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I didn't say anything about her. I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah.
Oral sex with this woman seems life-threatening. I can't stop looking at it.
Clickety clackety cat.
shit.
Clickety.
Can you highlight Matthew
Like that,
Fowler's
that Cenobite
comment?
from
Matthew
Hellraiser.
Fowler's comment.
Oh my god!
Oh man.
Fuck's sake!
The shellfish technology.
I do like Shane Davis. I don't know too much about his wife. I've
She's
seen
very
her on a few
unpleasant though.
streams.
She's
But
very
honestly,
not cool.
I'm friends with Amit, so I'm Team Amit. You know.
Well read. Please take that down. Please take that down.
Thank
Don't make us
you.
look at it anymore.
Look what you did.
Well
Mr.
read, well read.
Yes,
I will
no.
tell you this just for your own sake. Edit that out when you repost the
Too
stream.
late.
Just- I don't need
Yanapui has it now.
It's already
Yeah,
glitched.
I didn't
So,
do anything other than show them out on a date together. I don't know what any of you are talking about.
Whatever commentary was provided was up to that individual.
Yeah, I thought that was a beautiful picture. of a lovely
people don't
couple.
understand. Guys, this is a parody show, so just to let everybody know.
Well,
Just
I
so
just
you
think
know.
everybody's free to their own commentary and answers for themselves. I don't think Amit should have to curb himself in any way. Just please no FA bombs, no N bombs, so that YouTube doesn't strike me.
Nigeria. I made you look.
Now that you're here, Vicky, maybe you could enlighten us on something that James Hayes raised in the chat earlier. He mentioned something about your boy Zach and deleting videos as Comicsgate's #1 investigative reporter. Do you have any idea what the hell's going on?
I read something on it on the forums about it. Give me a second, and I'll find the page. He deleted not only some videos, but some community commentary that he had left as well. So,
Did he have a reason for this?
yeah, I'll read you what Ethan said. Give me just a second to find it. It'll take me a moment.
So we vamp.
Yeah.
Risey, did you ever see Dune back in the day?
No.
It's a good movie to watch when you're high.
Have you seen it,
It
Simple
is.
Jack?
I've seen the
Risey.
older, I guess, original movie.
The David
Okay.
Lynch
Right?
one?
Did
with
you
the
like
crazy,
Beast
beautiful
World?
blue-eyed lady.
Yeah. the
You know
Fremen,
what's
Penny
also
Gesserit.
great to watch when you're high? Star Wars: The Bad Batch, available right now on Disney Plus for
Thank
$9.99.
you,
Speaking of
Maybe
Disney,
they got to
Oh
you
my
too. They got to you.
speaking of Disney, they are a partial owner of Boom Studios. So we're Disney shills as well for going over these books.
Boom!
boy.
See, it comes full circle.
And
Yeah, we just started Boom.
Hail the King Emperor Mouse!
Yeah,
Yes, according
I-
to Clownfish TV, they said that recently.
So I found Ethan's post on the forums about Zach, and he says Zach has experienced another awakening in which he is realizing that some of his enemies are legitimately mentally ill, many on the edge of self-harm. As infuriating as all of them are, they wake up every day hating themselves more than they could ever hate us, and our criticism of them might be punishing them more than their illness can handle, because most of us are approximately mentally sound in comparison. And he used some really bad punctuation right there, sorry. And that would be punching down. He, meaning Zach, doesn't want to be the catalyst for anyone to hurt themselves. What has seemed like incredibly and obsessive cruelty to us is just the product of people who are teetering on the brink. And as the American comic book industry inevitably continues to evaporate, it'll get worse for them. So Zach's cucking like hard.
But I thought he already did this.
There is no explanation other than he's just let him beat him up. Let him beat him up. They're going to beat him up more. It's only going to get worse, but he's just going to stick his head in the sand and hide under his rock even
I think the thing is Zach doesn't want to be an activist anymore, and he just wants to be a creator. He doesn't want.
He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to.
So he doesn't want to be an activist
basing
anymore,
himself,
which is
though.
fair enough.
Well, he's basing himself to do it, though. It's kind of humiliating.
Yeah, but he should tell his backers that he doesn't want to fight anymore.
But can you really create anything good if you're turning into a beta cuck?
Yeah, see, I think it's a bad idea because, like, not only is he kind of like, his fans won't take it really well that he's kind of self-censoring when they're used to his style of commentary, but you never show weakness towards SJWs. I mean, they will just double down and they will bite harder. So I think it's a bad idea.
I think it's one thing if he says, I don't really care to talk about them anymore, but to delete his old videos, that seems especially galling. It's like, you said it, just stick by what you said.
Yeah, exactly. But he's had a history of
narrative to this. I just want to give a counterpoint to all this. You know, I think personally, what's happened is maybe, and this maybe you guys don't agree, for whatever reason, Zach wants legitimacy from the mainstream, whatever the reason that might be, or maybe he wants to work for the mainstream. He still has that dream, and maybe.
I think that's probably true. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and maybe he thinks by doing this. Maybe he thinks by doing this he can slowly over time distance himself from this audience and maybe have a run in the mainstream. And then this is just one way of reaching that goal.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but it's certainly a possibility.
That sounds like it makes sense.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not.
Zach always wanted to work in the mainstream. He always wanted his books in comic shops.
That's not going to happen.
He always wanted that.
He'll always be a filthy,
well, I mean, even Larry.
Trump supported them.
Well, even Larry has his books in comic shops. That's not a big deal, you know. But nobody knows who Larry is.
But who would hire
Larry
Zach?
is the weirdo. That's Larry.
Well, especially because Zach bungled the Expendables release. I mean, that should have been $1 million campaign, quite honestly. And the book still hasn't come out. So why would he be hired by the mainstream if he was handed this jewel of an IP and bungled it? Who's going to hire him in the mainstream?
Yep. That was that accountant. Yeah. Nope. He ain't getting hired.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends if you considered Ethan in the mainstream because he's getting hired by Ethan, which is probably the best.
Well, Ethan left the mainstream though.
That's probably the best fate for Jawbreakers for it to keep going.
I don't give a crap about Jawbreakers. It's G.I. Joe meets Expendables. I just don't care. It's a very generic book.
Larry is way more awesome than Risey Lee.
Oh my god!
Boy, you suck my ninja penis.
That's just rude.
Risey, you didn't get it. This is a parody show, so whatever he says, he means the opposite. So
no, he means it. Don't take that shit from him.
Yeah, he means it.
He meant it with hate and love and all those things in between.
Again, they're saying he means it. That means that he means the opposite. Understand this, Risey.
Whisper now.
Inception shit.
Risey, have another drink. He meant that shit.
So, you know what? Maybe I will have another drink.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, you go, boy.
Hey, Vicky.
You go.
Okay, I'm out of here, folks. We'll see y'all later.
No, I like you.
He likes you.
Good night, Glenn.
Good night, Glenn.
We can swallow on each other's knobs later, but I gotta get up for work in the morning. Y'all have fun.
Have a good night, Clickety Clack.
You've got a real life.
Look at easy, Glenn.
That sucks.
I sure
do. Rock on, Glenn.
Take it easy.
I like that
Risey, you just like him because he encourages your drinking.
Only a little bitch like Risey wouldn't start his own stream to defend himself. Little bitch
fuck
boy.
off, Randy Lee. Fuck off, Randy. Wait, no, Randy. Bring Randy back.
I didn't kick him. He left.
Wait.
Well, I think we know what happens when Risey starts streams. There's a fake Berserk Guts in the back chat writing erotic Vicky fan fiction.
There's a parade of cocks that make themselves.
God, that was just nuts.
Yeah, Vicky, did you get turned on? Did you get turned on, Vicky?
No. But it was
Wait,
fucking
were there people actually writing that? I mean, I don't remember this.
In the private chat, a bunch of bullshit
in the
being
private
written.
chat.
Oh my
And El
god.
Hombre was not helping, by the way. He knew what was going on.
Oh, Hombre is a good friend of mine.
Well, he wasn't looking
but
out for your best
I'm gonna
interests
have
on that
to
stream, Risey.
Yeah, I must
I'm
say the
gonna-
private chat was really disgusting.
It doesn't need to be
begin with.
repeated. Amit, please don't go into the
No, I'm just saying, like, even for somebody like me who has no limits. Even I
Yeah,
was
but
like,
it doesn't need to
that
be
could be
repeated. It's a bunch of fucking assholes. We know.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them.
I like
Well,
the
actually-
welcome Ishra to the chat. Thank you.
Welcome,
for
Ishra.
joining us.
Hello, Ishra.
Hail.
It was cringe.
So, Vicky, how did your show go with Finatra and Jazz Crab? What was the conclusion? Any?
I think Finatra learned something. Like even if it was after the stream ended, I think he had a little bit of a realization, a little bit.
But we'll see. We'll see how it went.
Time will
you know,
tell.
it's hard. It's hard because I like Finatra, right? I like Jazz Crab.
You were bagging on him pretty hard the other day on his show.
I will. I will. I will for, I'm not going to, just because I like you doesn't mean I'm not going to call out shit behavior. And
there you go.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
and if
Vicky doesn't pull her punches.
and
My
if I-
first interaction that I ever knew about Vicky was you were taking shots at me on Twitter saying, who's the best new Spurgeon war campaign? And I was on one of the polls. And everyone were messaging me, I'm so sorry, what's happened to you, Rusty? And I'm like, who the fuck is Vicky? I don't even know who the fuck she is.
You're in her black book.
Just because Testify is not here, where's my award? Oh, wait, there he is.
I have an official announcement from the leader of the Etsy Boys being twitless. He would like Risey to know that he would like to see more, other race dongs on his show.
Have you
Please.
received your
Thank you.
award yet, Randy Lee? Oh, I guess we'll never know.
I never got his address to send it.
Oh, well, just
Yeah.
ask JDA. JDA knows it.
But yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna be calling out people that I don't like, it's sort of hypocritical for me to not call out people I do.
Who's called you out? I think you're
all the Mandy
Mandy
Simps.
Simps?
All the Mandy Sims did last week.
Just called out by your whole
I can't believe they got a reaction for that.
You mean Peter Gilmore? Just him.
Among him.
Oh
many others.
no! I had
Those are
I had
many.
Mary Mayhem came after me.
I've seen Mary's comments.
A lot of randos.
A bunch of randos from the Fandom Menace showed up. I had no idea who they were. Very few comic skaters said anything, which I found very interesting.
That's because comic skaters knew you were wrong but didn't care.
No, it's also because Comicsgate don't give a flying fuck about the Fandom Menace. That's what's up.
Well,
with
Mandy is.
And they don't.
Comics.
Well, Mandy's making a cultural shift.
Mandy's grifting her way up in the world.
She is sliding her way over into the Fandom Menace.
Don't they call that monkey branching?
Yeah, I think they do.
So we
Wait, just
expect
because
to see
she
her on.
wait, just because she looks like a monkey, you don't have to call her one.
Well, I would like everybody to refer to, Finatra's picture of Mandy Summers that he put up in the police lineup of Antifa. If you think of her, Anybody knows what I'm referring to.
That's
Yeah.
ruthless. That is ruthless.
That is kind of harsh, but yeah. I mean, she's going to be doing that toxic femininity show instead of Mary Mayhem and all of the broads that left.
And I assume
she's
Ladies'
rolling
Night
right in
is
there.
dead again.
CG
I
Ladies
would,
Night is
I
DED.
think so. I mean, I can't imagine how it would be revived.
That was a thing.
Yeah, that was a real
yeah,
show.
that was a real show.
My God.
It was
How many
it was
basement
like-
dwellers were watching that shit?
It
And
was
Vicky, do you remember the spin-off that was the CG Ladies Night, but with Carla and stuff? The spin-off.
there.
They tried
Yeah, there was the CG ladies, and then there were the war campaign ladies, and they each had their
Oh,
own
no.
nightly shows.
Yikes.
Yes.
Oh no,
And
I've missed all this.
You missed all of this somehow, Risey. I don't know how you were around, but you know. Yeah, so the war campaign ladies were, like Lola and Cyborg Valkyrie, that whole group that's gone on. And then the CG ladies were Mandy and Piper, and I think Charlie's London and
It's just those three.
Ladies Night, yeah, were those three. Yeah.
yeah, we're mainly those three.
I'm happy that Charlie's London kind of put herself away from all of that because it was not helping her.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Charlie's
war
London is so much
campaign
better
ones-
than either of those broads.
They called themselves the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, that
They
was.
Oh my god!
That's not original.
And then
Actually,
comics
I
came
have
out.
heard rumors about that stream though. I just never seen it. I did hear about the Powerpuff Girls. I just thought it was like some sort of fucking gay joke.
What is a gay joke? Yeah.
I
It
mean,
is. One of them is
Carla-
Cyborg Valkyrie. So
Carla has
Okay, yeah.
ascended the comics.
I'm sorry, Vicky. I missed your stream, so can you tell me what happened in the end? Did Finatra apologize or no?
You know what? After the stream ended, Finatra did apologize to Risey, actually, so that was nice.
and he apologized to me.
Which I told him he didn't have to apologize to me for.
Powder your puff, Risey.
You powder puff my fucking penis, Randy.
Did Finatra take his blocks off and decide to unblock people?
I would think so, but I don't
That's
know.
what I would think.
That didn't come up really. Then.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that too much. Mostly, we stuck with the you can't just say shit that is blatantly false. Like,
And
Well,
I
you
tried to help
can.
Finatra understand.
I mean, you can,
the
but
truth of himself,
if your channel is if your stream is taken down because you played music that you shouldn't have, but then go on to say that the Etsy boys struck it. I mean,
Yeah,
you know
that
damn
was
well
pretty
that
much the
didn't
only
happen.
main reason I wanted to bring up to him. Is that no one must mass flagged you like you were saying. It wasn't that. It's like me playing Shania Twain on my goddamn YouTube the other night when I was drunk,
Really?
It got struck down because I shouldn't have played that video.
Just like well-read streams get struck down when Testify plays AC/DC.
Exactly.
You played "Kaching" by Shania Twain. That's a great song.
Thanks.
The red
one I
version.
played.
The red version.
I,
Yeah, the red
Fuck
version.
you, Risey.
I just read my email in the
Disco
morning.
Hobbit.
What? Fuck me? Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck are you?
What, are we fucking Yanzi now?
Yeah.
Oh
Fuck
no!
are
Okay,
Yeah.
I
said it.
don't
Hi,
I
Hale.
said it.
How you doing?
I disavow. I disavow.
Yeah, go ahead
I
and
believe-
disavow, you little fucking wimps.
Kick Testify well-read. He's
Oh,
gonna get
you
a
went
stream
there?
mass flagged.
The
Ra-
views
Raz-
of the guests
Razzie
of the
avows.
well-read show do not represent well-read pig. They
They
probably do
represent
well-read
all of Smug Pug because he's an Australian and all of us are somehow connected. So, boom. Suck on that, well read.
We
well-read
all
pig.
here.
Sorry, well read. Not you. You fucking asshole, Smug Pug. I was reading the.
We all here at Well Read Reviews are hashtag Team Mandy and hashtag Team Yunzi. We respect all women. Just putting that out there.
My lightning respects all women too.
I just want to point out, Well-Read Pig is the
Can you
host.
highlight James Hayes' comment about Ishra? That's interesting.
I'd like to point out that I do not respect most women.
Yeah,
Don't
we
make-
can tell.
Hey, sweet. Fist bump, Vicky. Me either.
Don't make me the fucking host, Well Read. Don't you put the
Yeah,
shit
no,
on me.
you're the host now. It's all on you, Smug. You fucking pretending you're not ZombieCon motherfucker.
You signed up for the
I
job.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Bullshit.
So do we have that clip of PewDiePie shouting out Odie? Did anyone ever
Do
get
we?
that?
It's on the farms. It's time stamped. I don't have it on me right this second.
Oh, okay.
I've been smoking way too much fucking weed to fucking try to do research.
I can try and find it.
Yeah, I think I have the timestamp
Yeah.
written down, but if you open that link up, it should open it to that
So-
exact timestamp.
So PewDiePie gave his permission to Odie to use his likeness as a regular character in his books. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty
huge.
awesome.
Oh, I need to let everyone know this. I don't know if anyone watched one of Liam's last streams, but he's now doing a new tactic. Where
Don't
he's gonna
say
be
that word. Don't say that word.
Tactic.
Tactic.
I like to-
he's just a retard.
I like
Just
to
call him retarded.
Say hello to Death Pusher. Please do not push death sticks on the chat, though.
But honestly, to be fair, I just want to say to everyone, you should not stream snipe Liam anymore because he's going to be putting his art on the screen, and when it does happen, he will strike your channels. He's like, because you're stealing my art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's already done that to us, Razi. Thank you. That was like 6 months ago.
No, but he's doing it now during his stream.
Yeah, again.
Oh, is he doing it again? I didn't even see his latest one.
Yeah. Well, I was watching it the other day because he liked to insinuate.
The other thing you could do is just play the audio, not the video.
Oh no, you can get hit for both. That's a myth about YouTube. Some people have thought, oh, if I just mute the audio, I could play the video in the back. No. Oh, if I just play the audio and don't show the video, it's okay. No.
Yeah, but
gotta use it in fair use form.
If you're EFAPing it, EFAP the
Mhm.
audio, and not the video, so he can't strike you for the art. That's the whole point. Don't do
I
anything
just
different.
find it very hypocritical. The fact that he's like saying that you can't, like, he's basically saying you can't stream snipe me. But all he was doing on this stream was watching the Oz show where Well Red fucking took Oz to fucking the farm.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
Liam
been
does that
doing
to,
this
Count
for a while.
Dankula. He'll just show Count Dankula streams all the time, and use that as his content. So.
Cartoons, think about everything that he does.
Yeah, like the theme songs from anime. Yeah, so he does it all
exactly.
the time.
He's the biggest hypocrite in the entire world. Oh, here you go.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh wow.
Out here, this is dangerous. I don't like this. Oh, on 25th, I'll publish my webtoon manga called Tomahawk Angel, and I really, really want to include Felix in this series. Wouldn't it be funny if I say no? And of course, looks amazing. Look forward to see it. So in my video,
that's it.
He even said the name of the comic, so
Yeah, that's dope. You know what
Video
I like
evidence,
most about that?
no consent.
It wasn't called Xenotype.
Xenotype.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I
Oh, OD, you fool! Go back! Go back! I want Xenotype 2! Why are you doing this? He made you, Odie.
According
Here's the other
to-
part,
You want
because that
grateful
came
little
out on
shit.
the 18th, and I think that was before, or no, what was it? When Liam did his little I'm leaving video, that was after this video had already come out.
And a couple of days after Liam did a stream where he announced that he and Odie were still friends-ish, and they had a bet going to see who could make the most money in the next year. And basically, like, the way he tried to say it was like, and if Odie loses, he's going to be drawing me. I don't know, something, it's sort of ridiculous. There was no point to the bet, but when that year is all over, then they'll go ahead and they'll be putting out Xenotype 2.
Yeah.
They've eaten way too much fairy bread.
That 15
Yes.
to 20 second clip from PewDiePie from Felix, that just made him more money than he'll ever make ever on Xenotype.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, he got what, 30,000 Instagram.
Yeah, he got
followers
like
boost?
30,000 more Instagram followers just from that video.
When you abandon bad advice and bad life coaches, the world can open up for you.
Yeah.
No. Do not forget.
By the way, Cider was the one that...
Without the orange koala,
Uh-huh.
none of you will ever make it.
Okay.
You know, this guy has done road work for punk rock bands.
Yes.
He's got 3 houses. He's got,
a member of
like,
Mensa.
God damn it.
He's part of the 94%.
You ruined my bit.
Without Liam, there wouldn't be a Trash Compactor show.
That's not true.
Well, we went from Liam to Liam
that thing
Oz
was
to
gonna
Oz.
come anyway.
It would
The
still
Trash
be.
Compactor show.
It would still be on the Trash Compactor channel without Liam.
That is true. He helped us. You know what? I have to thank Liam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He kind of paved the way for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that clip when John Malin heard Liam talk about he was going to save comics, and John Malin, you could tell, was surprised by all this and was taken aback, and he was telling Liam just make your book. Don't worry about saving comics or saving culture.
Remember when John Malin came on when Liam was complaining about how he has to help Odie, and Vinny tried to tell Malin that Liam groomed Odie, and John's like, what
Vinny's
the fuck are you talking about?
Well, when they signed the contract, he was still a minor, and Malin's like, "What the fuck? What do you mean he was a kid? What do you mean he had to do it through his dad? That's fucking nuts."
Malin's stupid, but apparently once in a while he just gives common sense to a situation.
Yeah.
And people think I'm John Malin.
Yeah, that's actually something. I always used to see people at use Simple Jack being like, "Oh, it's John Malin's alt," and I was like, "Oh, wait, yeah, Simple Jack's on streams now. He's definitely not John Malin."
Honestly, I couldn't imagine John Malin using an alt, to tell you the truth. I mean, he seems to be
John.
John,
I would like to thank you for being here. By the way, it's good of you to come down to the smaller channels and associate with us common folk.
Flat Earth is real.
Yeah.
I will say this, Mr. Malin, can I have my approved copy?
Back my book.
God damn it.
Grow your channels, people.
No, you gotta say grab an oar.
I was just about to say grab an oar, motherfucker.
I think a lot of people have trouble with that whole grow your channel thing. They have no idea what to do. It's why so much of especially the smaller channels, are just complete and total shit.
Just steal it.
Just do what me and Finatra do. Just get drunk online and go live.
You have visited what I call the most boring show in CG, the Leroy show.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
It is one of the most boring shows in CG.
Yeah, I don't really want to trash talk other creators, but
shut up, Red Pug.
That Leroy show is it's pretty boring. I mean, who are we to talk though? I mean, this is the Well-Read Review Show.
No. I want to know. Is this the Leroy from the famous video?
No.
Well, then I don't fucking care. Get the fuck out of here with that.
This Leroy is a friend of Bancroft's. They do a show called The Chat. And it's basically all the people that were in the chat, and they all just sit on a stream and bitch about
one of those.
It's even more retarded version of Bancroft.
Sandwiches and
Hey, I like the sandwiches. The pictures of the sandwiches are the highlight of the entire show.
It's the only thing worth watching it for.
This actually happens?
Yes,
it does.
They rate the sandwiches, they vote on them and shit. It's all democratic, so if they're gonna do something, they take a straw poll, so everybody has to vote in the poll, and then they decide what they're gonna do. One of the episodes I watched, they decided that they were gonna start doing reviews of comics, and so they took a straw poll to see what comic they would be reviewing. And of course it turns out to be the guy, it's Roquefort, it's the one that drew it, and he just happened to be in the chat.
Well, what was more interesting is that comic was written by, I don't know whether it was Bill Sienkiewicz, but it was by a guy who was criticizing Comicsgate as well, because I remember someone pointing out, wait a second, that's like from a writer that absolutely hates CG. It might not have been
Sienkiewicz
Bill
is an artist, but I guess he writes also maybe.
Oh,
I'm
God.
probably
I don't
mixing
remember
it
who
up.
wrote it.
I'm sure Mr.
I
Dobbs
think we
probably
can
corrects
all
me.
agree with the Crimson's
Is
comment.
this where this picture actually came from? Is it one of those streams?
how
Okay,
big
no,
is that fucking sandwich?
It was Ron Mars. It was Ron
Ron
Mars.
Mars,
Mr. Dobbs.
yeah.
Ron Mars.
That sandwich isn't as good as the sandwich we had last time, but it's okay.
I mean, it
I
looks
had a much better
healthy.
I was
Seven-
just trying to put everybody on point. You guys were talking about sandwiches.
Is
I
that
like avocado.
7 out of 10? You think?
So
Smug Pug?
I got
prefer
kicked
fresh
out of
dip.
I got kicked out of the Leroy show. They didn't want me there anymore because I started asking weird questions they couldn't answer.
You asked the hard questions, Amit, right?
Actually,
He does
that
ask the hard
sandwich,
questions.
that sandwich gets a 2 out of 10 from me. Testify, because there's way too much bread, and
It's all
I'm not
bread,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's lettuce and avocado. I mean, what's even on that sandwich?
Well, honestly, anyone that eats avocado should go and kill themselves.
Well, yeah, I will say this: avocado is
Minecraft.
actually not healthy. It's too many calories, really.
Oh, it's very
Actually.
fatty. Yeah.
I like
love
avocado.
Yeah, I love avocado.
Oh,
sucks.
God. Vicky, you just lost the point.
I'm sorry, right?
Well, your opinion doesn't matter.
There
Steve,
is a
because you
lot
like
of fatty
veggie
going
mode.
on in this image. There's a
Well,
lot of fatty.
honestly, yeah, no. To be fair,
Can
to
we
the
zoom
bread
in, please?
and the sandwich.
No, do
I
not.
want details.
I can if you like.
Oh, God damn it.
This Rosetta
Can
was
we-
one of the people I pissed off by when Pepper streams, and I said, "Hey, just bring me and John on. All the
Whoa.
other channels suck." And then Rosetta was like,
What is in
"You
that
wish,
sandwich?"
guy."
Look at her
Anchovies?
eyes. She looks like the Undertaker.
The best
Looks like
the
Shrek went
part
through
that a lot
No,
of people
no,
miss.
she's more like Kane than the Undertaker. He never quite got it right.
Yeah,
It's like she's in a trance.
guys, the part everybody misses out of this image is she's laying in bed with the refrigerator trough making sandwiches.
Wait,
Refrigerator trough.
The trough.
details.
Yeah, I call it a trough with her. I'm sorry.
Can we please minimize this and get rid of it?
Why?
Like, I don't want.
Can
I
we
don't want
just
to
get
rid of it,
ruined.
period?
This should,
First
this should
Yonsei,
be
then
the
this chick.
this should be the thumbnail
Yeah.
for the entire fucking show. You know.
Look how happy
You know?
she is.
We'll leave
Yeah.
that for the trash compactor.
Let's review her sandwiches. Actually,
There you go.
bring
Okay, I'll take it away.
back the sandwiches.
If that was a
No,
cartoon,
don't.
there'd be like stores and birdies around her
I
head.
was just
Guys,
about to
guys,
get
one
to
second. 1 second. Billy's in the chat. Billy, I recommend you don't go back last 20 minutes in the show. You
Oh,
won't like it.
fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell.
Hi, Billy.
It's Evan's best
Billy,
friend.
do
Hey,
not
what's
rewind
up,
20
Billy?
minutes.
hell, Billy.
Billy, don't go back 20 minutes, otherwise you will not like what these people said. You will
Hey,
cancel all of it.
I
It'd be like
You have
someone
to-
pissed in your
disavow
cereal.
all of it.
Just avowing Amit and
I disavow Amit. He does not reflect a
Oh, look
well-read
how
show.
quick you throw Ahmed under the bus. Rosie,
I
Ahmed,
avow all of Amit's
yeah.
statements regarding
I'm
women.
ride or die with you, motherfucker.
I will not only
know what?
throw Amit under
I
that bus.
also, God damn it.
I look
See,
as strong of you, Risey.
look,
The line
this
will
is
come up
almost
me.
as nasty as fucking, what's her face's name, Ahmed? Yahtzee.
Yanzi.
Some sort of
No,
ugly
no,
Yanzi.
no.
Yanzi.
No, I hate
No.
to tell you, no, I would have rather.
I
have
would
that
I
over
would
this.
definitely not agree.
Any-
Yanzi is a beautiful woman. How dare you all?
Oh yeah, no, she's a blessable fucking unicorn.
Blessable.
You only see. I'm making up words right now, okay?
That's all right.
Rewriting the dictionary. You learn to live with it.
Do you actually pop the blackheads on Rosetta's back there?
Ooh.
No, I don't even touch her. You know, I'm more like I've got like a shock poker. You know, just to get her out of the fucking house every now and then, and she's like, I don't want to leave.
Oh my god.
And
I
I'm
thought
like,
you got a
just
caterpillar.
Get the fuck
a
out of
forklift
here.
For her.
So James
No.
Smug James Hayes says, "I am not disavowing Smug Pug, only politely suggesting he do the right thing for once and apologize to Vickyverse."
I agree.
Yes. Yes. I also agree to that.
Well, I would just like to say that I apologize that Vicky doesn't have the talent of Mandy Summers,
Oh
and
no.
that she's bitter and mean and took on the wrong queen.
Not all pugs.
You are an asshole cunt, and I'm gonna kick you. when I see you in the future, like a little
Right.
bug.
Smug's just mad I won't jiggle my tits.
But then
for him.
I'll pick you up though, and I'll rub his belly. So it'll be
might be-
okay.
That might be true.
You're gonna roam the Australian countryside just so you can find Smug and kick him.
Yeah.
You know, Smug's idea of a shower is a golden shower.
That is a vicious lie and a rumor. I don't know where these rumors are coming from, but
Crazy.
I know you and Witten's OnlyFans, Smug.
Hi, Witten. How's it going?
Oh shit.
Wait, is Witten here?
Yeah, she wants to pee.
Do not bring that
How excited he
fucking
got.
part in here.
Wow.
I will
You're a
definitely
hoe.
fucking leave.
You're a hoe.
Well, that ad fits perfectly.
Aw,
Who's this cool cat?
He is
What's
cool.
up, what's
I like-
up, what's
I
up,
like this
peeps?
guy.
Okay, now let's steer the conversation away from me and Golden Showers. Well read. I was on Finatra's show with Dark Gift and Finatra, and I was trying to broker
Dark
a
Grift.
peace. Yeah,
Dark Grift,
what,
yes.
Dark Grift. Okay, what would it take to mend the fences between you, Finatra, and Mr. Grift?
I don't know. I mean, they can't take back what they did, right? So,
What
They
did
can
they do?
apologize for what they did.
Well, I don't want to go around.
It doesn't
asking,
mean you have to accept it.
I don't want to go
But
around asking
apologies
other.
don't mean shit at the end of the day.
I don't want to ask
Especially
other
internet
men for
apologies.
acceptance. Yeah.
Wait
No,
a
if
minute.
you
asking
actually
them for
do something
apologies.
stupid on the internet and you legitimately, and I've done it, I can literally say twice now. I have made a stupid mistake twice, and I legitimately meant I apologized. You can mean it.
Yeah, saying you
It
made
doesn't
a mistake.
mean you have to believe me, but I legitimately apologized.
Right. Saying
Yeah,
you
but
made a mistake is different. That's fine.
This is the thing.
All right.
With apologies on the internet, usually people want an audience so they can say that they actually did apologize. When I've actually made apologies myself, I've rang people off air, one-on-one, and I've apologized to them and I've admitted my faults.
I was just given I didn't know you had a webcam there, Risey.
I don't have a webcam.
Are you sure?
Go fuck yourself, Testify.
Oh boy.
Risey apologized to me personally in DMs.
Did he?
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't remember. For what? What did Bryce do?
Yep. Something he had said on Oz's stream, maybe. I think.
That's
It
another
was his
beautiful
old
couple.
account.
Oh,
it
actually,
doesn't-
no. I vaguely remember that. Fuck you, Testify.
Risey, turn your camera off. Turn your camera off,
Look at
Risey.
that
I'm
happy
actually
couple.
wearing. You know what the worst thing is I'm wearing that shirt right now. That is fucked.
Oh no,
That is-
we lost Lightning Shine.
Yeah.
Did he just drop out without saying anything?
He
He
does
does
As
that.
usual.
He's tired.
No, he's tired. Leave him be.
He has to work tomorrow.
He's a
what other
Packers
kind
fan.
of-
Give him a break.
What other kind of reviews are on this channel? I've only seen the comic book ones.
Yeah, they're horrible. All of them.
Because
They're all
big
fantastic.
comic book review channel.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
we,
are
we,
you-
One of the CG books.
yeah, we
I
do.
think you
some
guys
of
are
the
qualified
CG
to review more than just comics, no?
books. I mean, I guess
Review
maybe. I mean,
lawnmowers.
we've yeah, why not? Yeah, people
Um,
have suggested movies and mainstream books and all
bookmarks
kinds of
and-
stuff.
Video games.
We
I
can
think
do
we'll
Want to see
anything.
Public Enemy
TV
#1?
shows.
Do you guys know what YouTube feels about doing reviews of the free movies on YouTube?
Oh, that's an idea.
We just
That
have to
is
follow
an
the same
idea.
rules of copyright. Just be careful with the clips you use.
Quit
For a certain amount of
this.
time.
Quit this.
Oh,
so wait-
Twitless.
Number one
It's,
YouTuber.
it's the leader of the Etsy boys, Twitless.
Yes. Public Enemy #1.
What was Finatra's problem with Twitless, by the way? What did Twitless ever do that?
I
Finatra would-
made the comment that Twitless was the leader of the Etsy boys, and the idiot was so drunk he believed it.
Yeah, Finatra was cursing
believe
Twitless
it.
out. I'm like, what the hell? How'd that happen?
Twitless
just
is
'cause he
our
saw you
Kaiser
make that
Sose.
comment?
Of all people that you would ban, you banned Twitless.
Yeah, that's
Honestly, that
Yeah.
is the stupidest. How could you believe that, Twitless?
Honestly, he's doing the Oz thing where he just craps on his
poor
audience.
Twitless.
All the people that come on his show to make it interesting. The minute he gets too big, he thinks that he can just cut ties to them and throw him under the bus. So.
Well, there were people telling stuff.
He's feeling it now
too. Remember a few months ago, there was a very peculiar stream. It was a certain group of people, and clearly they were telling him things and who not to have on, which included you testify, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I tell all these people who to have on and who not to. Yeah, I've always done that. Yeah.
Wait, you're Liam?
No, I don't tell anybody who to have on and not. I'm like, I like the people that hate me.
That would be the
ultimate
troll. We find out that Testify and Liam are working together.
We are.
Dude, if that was it, I'd be like, I would tip my hat and walk away. I'd be like, that is dope.
The ultimate troll job has been done. Yeah. Yes.
See, Mr. Donks, the reason why Oz is doing it now is he wants to crowdfund a book pretty soon. Yes. And he's already got a mailing list for it.
Yeah, I mentioned
he's
this.
Going about it the stupidest way, though. He's losing his audience.
Yeah, I mentioned this previously. It's like these guys follow a format. So Liam had Live with Liam. It was open chaos. Everybody loved it. It was some of the more memorable moments of Comicsgate happened on those streams. The minute he started to get some pushback and worried about his book, he completely shut off and changed it. And I think
that
Oz
isn't
is
it.
doing the same.
No, well read. No, it's not it. Well read, Pig. I'm sorry. You guys got to change your names. Come on, please.
You don't recognize your friend's voice, dude?
Okay, I'll change my name.
I do. I'm sorry. I read the names. I don't look at the stupid avatars.
I'm well-read Pig, and he's Smug Rabbit.
It's when they get monetized. They think they have to change the way they did stuff before. It's been every one of them have done the same exact things.
To play devil's advocate, but shouldn't a channel always be evolving and growing?
It should be evolving, but not overnight change.
Yeah, you can evolve and change your channel, but you need to do it sort of slowly. You need to slowly introduce new content. Take your time changing the format so you can tweak it and see what's working. But a lot of these people just wanted, it's like
just like a 90-degree turn.
It's like buying subs so you can get monetized. Right.
Yeah. This is it.
So
this is why I'm
going to say
and
you have
one
to figure
quick
out
thing.
how to keep it.
Don't build your channel on false pretenses. Okay? Because if you do that, you're a fucking asshole. And you're fake and you're a hypocrite. And everything that you say post when you get monetized, air quotations, you're a fucking piece of shit. You're just as bad as everything that all of us started speaking up against the mainstream and all this crap for. Because you're trying to silence voices because they're not fucking suiting your narrative. And they're not speaking your truth.
I say Oz was monetized way back, and he could just fire up a stream and he could walk away and he was still collecting super chats. He wouldn't even read them. And just some guest, whoever was there, would just go ahead and read it for him. So he was monetized way back, and he was still just getting stoned and you just highlight them, not even read it. Someone would. But remember, Ahmed, I was so excited about that Spurg racing game, that stupid little 8-bit racing game he did, and he showed it to us like before he even showed it on air. We didn't give a fuck. It's like, it's just stream. That's all we want from you. Just fucking stream. Yeah. You don't give a shit about this retarded game.
Don't talk. Don't. Let's put it this way. Oz, a lot of people. Oz is like, you guys are. Remember the stream where Oz said, I'm getting messages from people saying things about my show.
Yeah, that was from me.
What Oz forgets to. Again, I was in the conversation too. What Oz forgets to mention is he started that conversation with us. We never DM'd Oz. Oz DM'd us.
Yeah, he started that with me, Ahmed, and that's when we. And so then we communicated there. Then it's like, I'm getting night letters, and like.
Are you talking about that stupid game thing he was doing with the PlayStation emulator thing?
That little racing Spurg racing game. It's like, who cares?
You remember? I think that was the stream I did where it was like 6+ hours of me just telling him, "You're a fucking idiot."
No. That's separate. That's separate. That's different.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I was talking about that earlier, but
fucking idiot.
Yeah, I sent him a message and he read it like ominously on his stream. Like, I got a night letter. Like, even it's like, dude, I'm just.
They all end up ruining their channels. Look at Piper. We talked about it earlier today, right? She's not monetized. She's not big enough to be monetized. But she still is getting people sending her money
Decently.
for PayPal and sending her stuff to her house. And
Piper was letting me on like a lot too, and I do feel like people did not care for me or what I was saying or what I was.
There's a whole there's this whole faction of Comicsgate that hates all of us. Like they see us as the Comicsgate rejects.
I just watched the replay of her Gong show, by the way, that she tried out, and it was all like people like us in this group who were sending her guests. So that was actually nice. I thought the Smug Pug, I saw that you went on there, and George went on there and kept her company. He was like a gentleman. He was, well, I'm not going to abandon a lady. So I thought that was really cool, actually, that even though the different factions, it was like this group of people who were sending her guests. I thought Cheech went on there. I saw that on the replay.
Well, that was hilarious, Cheech, man. I was just like, oh my god, Cheech is on Piper's stream.
Like I don't understand like what Oz or Piper like had against me. I don't think I ever went on to either of their channels and ever caused any trouble. I think maybe quote unquote zombie Nomicon might have, but certainly not me.
Rift in the background talking to Piper.
Well, that's another thing on Finatra's show when Dario was on there and he started talking about how, dude, I get all these messages from Smiling Bandito and James Dean telling me to stay away from these guys and what streams I can and can't go on. And then Finatra just cut him off and changed the subject. And I was just like, no, wait a minute, go back. Like, what's Dario talking about here? So it definitely is happening.
Was that on the stream from yesterday or the day before?
Yes, that was
yesterday.
Yeah, the 11-hour stream. The 11-hour stream.
Yeah, he slept.
Oh, the day before yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, he brought it up and then it was immediately finished. Oh, but we got talking really fast to try to cancel out what Dario said.
Yeah. Well, Dario's a fucking dipshit, man.
He is.
Finatra,
Vicky, you are skating on thin ice. You are skating on thin ice. Don't go for my boy Dario.
I'm going after your boy Dario. So Finatra brings on JDA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. It's not your stream. And if I'm on a stream and somebody brings on someone that I don't like for whatever reason, I still try to be polite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dario's immediately calling him a white supremacist and all this, like, Caribbean before Spanish, like this whole like brings it into this total racial thing. And then when Finatra and John were talking about John's hangover and what he'd been drinking to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he'd been drinking sake.
Yes, sake.
Right. And Dario, because, that's like it's Japanese. Of course, everybody knows it's Japanese. It's not even Japanese. It's Korean. And I'm like,
it's rice.
No, it's called sake because it's Japanese rice wine. Yes, there's Korean rice wine, but it has a different fucking name, you stupid shit.
Yeah, everyone knows it's a Japanese drink.
Right? And he's just he's doing this and acting stupid just to dunk on John.
I know.
Because Vox Day bad or whatever,
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was weird. I mean, it was just kind of gross weird.
Mm-hmm.
Most people that probably don't care. Like dunk on JDA. It's cool.
Well, I'm still trying to wait for someone to show me a reason why I should hate someone like Vox Day. I mean, I've not watched whatever he does.
Nah, Vox Day's done a lot of dumb shit in the past. And I'm like, I like JDA and I know he's buddies with him. And I'm just going, I
don't know. I've heard he's got like a really dope fucking sitting chair. So I'm friends with him for that.
I've watched a few Vox Day. I've watched a few Vox Day streams back in the day because he was big during Gamergate and the whole sad puppies and stuff like that. Although, some of the things he says is pretty off base. But one funny thing was there was a troll campaign that used to go after him and start calling him Teddy Spaghetti. And
I remember that.
It got to the point where he was banning anyone that said that. But then people would just start coming in and saying, "So what's your favorite pasta dish?" And they'd be like, "Spaghetti." And you can just look at his eyes narrowing as he's looking at the chat. It was fucking hilarious.
Let's go. See,
why do I have this damn image on my computer? What the hell? Why do I got this on here?
Yeah, so but there's still you can still You can still find the interviews with Ethan and when Ethan had Vox Day on his stream. It was a couple of different times.
Yeah, the videos are still up. You can talk up those SJW books all the time.
And also, I like the one where Ethan does the review of the streams. Those were nice too. The interviews.
But it's very interesting how much Ethan's rhetoric changed after speaking with Vox Day.
Well, Zach and Ethan used to promote Vox Day's like book SJWs Always Lie all the time because I bought that. I bought his. I bought that book on their recommendation, so they were on good terms at one point. But this is all old stuff now. Anyway, as Testify would say, this is 2018 Comicsgate, guys. We need to move forward.
Say there is an infamous stream on the R Show where Wiggle Wiggle is actually fighting with Testify. You can find that.
Wiggle Wiggle and me fight daily when he comes into Discord.
No. He was still War Campaign at that point, and you weren't. That's
I remember. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that one.
How long do you think it's going to take Oz to fulfill that order for Wiggle Wiggle? 6 more months?
We'll see. We're at a truce, Simple Jack. Let's see. I
think the simplest way is for him just to refund the money and end it. That's what I would say.
But no, they made a deal now, Amit. I'm sorry. He promised him a new hand-drawn image, a live stream of doing it.
I want my shows. I want them now.
I want them. Let's see them.
I know. Is there room for another CG channel?
Probably
There's room for any channel if you know how to make it different than something else.
Start streaming.
Yeah, I mean that there is room. The thing is a lot of, we can all attest to how difficult it is to get sales on a book, right? Through a live stream.
Well, sales on anything.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So long as you're not expecting that and turning it into a really crappy shill stream, you're okay. So long as you figure out what kind of content you really want to do, and it has to be different. You need a hook. And nobody's got it.
You need a personality. You need a strong voice, a strong point of view, and that will draw people in. And some of these people are just boring.
Or a different way to highlight it. That's the thing that I try to do when I've ever tried to sell anybody's stuff. I don't put it out there like it's okay. We got to sit here and look at your fucking campaign for an hour.
Yeah, I try not to do that too.
I give you a minute and a half, and if you don't sell anything, then we move on to something else. Then we'll bring it back a little bit later and see if we can get any more look at it.
No, exactly, and that's the way I look at like all of this stuff. I mean, sometimes, and this is nothing against creators. I mean, every creator is also welcome to come on the trigger warning. I will give you same amount of appreciation that Testify just said, but I will make a personal stream where it'll be the first 10, 20 minutes will be focusing on your campaign. And then once I'm bored of that shit, because it's very boring, I will open up the link to everyone else to come on and talk whatever they want to do. Don't do these boring ass where only creators can come on and like circle jerk each other.
Yeah,
it's pathetic.
Yeah,
I bring on one person trying to sell something, and I will only try to sell their product. I don't bring anybody else's shit into it unless it's at the very, very end, and it's just, hey, you got something cool, great, cool. But if I'm going to focus on trying to sell something for one person, I want to make sure they're the focus of it, not everybody's bullshit all at once.
Going back to what we were talking about, because the chat's still talking about it. Like when Dario said that and got cut off, it sounded like he was gonna say more names as well. Like he mentioned James Dean and Bandito or Doxito, whatever you want to call him. And
I would love to know what was said, because there's been multiple things now of Doxito going around doing these things, and he literally he's being fed stuff through Row, Pan, Gap, all of them to say to these people. They're using him as a proxy to do this.
They use proxy.
That's what he did with me.
And Doxito is tight with Bancroft, Michael Bancroft.
Yes.
And his Bancroft's book looks good. but I know Bancroft is hearing.
Well,
that
there was
stuff and
something they said that he was off of the show now. I don't know if that was true or
Who
not.
the fuck is Michael Sherwood?
That's Smiling Doxito.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr. Donk says, I don't get how a dude that sounds and looks like Michael Sherwood gets off calling anyone a pedophile, to be honest.
Exactly.
Jesus. But the other guy that was mentioned, that James Dean, who's that guy? I've never heard of him.
He's an
before.
Australian comic book creator. I think been on a stream with him on
Isn't
George's
he
channel.
in Was Campaign too?
I don't know about that. I was on a stream with him. He seemed like fairly innocuous, like just kind of a babe in the woods. I don't. Maybe.
What
I know that name.
What's his book?
Yeah, what's his book?
I'm following him on Twitter. Yeah, I was on a stream with him with George. I think his book is. It looks like The Crow. It was influenced by The Crow. I remember that.
The Embrace. The book is
That's
The
right.
Embrace.
Oh God,
Okay.
that thing. Okay, the one
Yeah.
with the really bad logo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's always that's what I laugh at even more is these people that are listening to like Doxito, because we're talking about him right now. His book he put out on, was it Kickstarter? I think it was. It was either Kickstarter or IGG, and it didn't fund because he put 26 tiers, and he's telling people how to run a campaign. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's just like these guys that go around telling people how to run a YouTube channel as well when their own channels.
It's because if you fucking listen to me, you'll get fucking views. You dumb
that
shit.
JJ guy that went in and retroactively blocked.
Hold on. Can we go to Hothead Studios comment for 1 second?
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong
chill
with
streams.
streams.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them.
Make it
Just
entertaining.
Make them fucking entertaining, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
don't
Vilnid-
spend 2 to 3 hours like promoting a book when you can wrap it up within 10 to 20 minutes very
Vilnid,
easily.
Oh,
Vilnid
okay.
just,
There's an interesting. Yeah, see, that's what I
this is
heard
an
yesterday.
interesting comment. So this is in response to what Dario was talking about, because Dario originally mentioned that Bancroft and Bandito were no longer collaborating on stuff. But Vilnid says Bancroft dropped Bandito as a co-host, even took him off the opening credits. I was DM'd by the show to make sure I knew he was no longer a co-host. I wonder.
Wow.
I do. Yeah, I do wonder what happened behind those doors.
I think a lot of this stuff that he's been doing is finally coming to light. Because it's
Well,
funny
maybe-
that was said on that stream, and literally on that stream on it was on Finatra's, who showed up there after Bandito, and Finatra and Bandito are good buddies.
Yeah, well, they were talking about Bandito, and then he showed up he wasn't in the chat at all, and then he showed up like a minute after
Out
his
of
name
nowhere.
was mentioned. Yeah, so I think he probably got a DM from somebody saying, "Hey, they're talking about you on Finatra's show."
Yep. Yeah, I'm just going. The guy's freaking slimy as hell, and I honestly, I don't even know if he's that bad of a guy, but he allowed literally the whole thing of Was Campaign to make him a proxy to do what they wanted him to do.
Well, he spread the Nasser stuff, right? So I mean,
He spread the
That's
net.
pretty-
He did the
That's
stuff
stuff
about me.
everywhere.
He's been doing it in multiple places apparently, and I think it's finally come to light, and people are tired of it.
and it is physiognomy. I mean, it's the guy looks like a dirtbag, and so that's.
Well,
his
he is a
character.
dirtbag.
There you go.
Sounds like a
Physiognomy.
dirtbag.
Speaking of dirtbags, hi
Hello,
Dean.
Dean.
I knew I
Hey,
smelled
hey.
dirtbag.
I knew you were gonna say that. Justify.
Yeah,
What's up, Dean?
I saw that coming.
Don't you dare say that about he's a
Oh,
Shalom,
I love
Dean.
you, Dean.
Shalom.
Not
Can I-
Dean.
can I ask
What
a
is
question,
he
Dean?
doing here?
How can you see stuff coming? Because if you saw it coming, you wouldn't be able to see it.
That's not true.
You can anticipate something. It's not being difficult.
Wait, that was an
I think
oxymoron.
it would be in your eye.
Mr.
Don't
Dong
confuse my
says,
brain.
I
Mr.
get
Donk-
the impression Finatra is getting pressed in DMs with rejects presenting themselves as the in crowd.
Yeah, I
That's
totally
probably
agree with
true.
that.
I remember when Smiling Bandito and Dark Gift were roaming the War Campaign Damage Control team on the Oz show. Great guys.
I do too.
Yeah, I agree with
So I
that.
remember Bancroft show immediately after that big fallout between War Campaign and Comicsgate. Like Bancroft show was really sticking up for a War Campaign and what's going to happen, and we're not going anywhere. And Bandito
Yeah.
was the ambassador
Ban-
on Bancroft show.
Bancroft kept getting upset with me super chatting him about Liam being anti-CG.
That was hilarious.
You're a fucking little shit, Dean.
Fucking hilarious. It was that do you have to be CG stream too, right? So they're all navel gazing about whether or not you should have people on your stream that aren't Comicsgate.
What was that?
And what tiers? The 3 tiers of anti-Comicsgate and adjacents. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy Basco likes you, Dean.
Aww.
Hey, Billy. You're okay.
No.
I don't
At least
care what
there's
Amit says about you. And Amit says a lot about you. You're okay by my book.
I don't have anything against Billy.
Amit is a saint, and he's filled with nothing but love and pure messages.
This coming from a guy that fucks Rosetta.
Shut the fuck up, testify. You
hold on a sec, guys. Dean, it was brought
every
up.
sandwich with butter on it, you know.
It was brought up. It was brought up earlier because we went live just so it wasn't getting too late, but we missed the last, I want to say, about 15 minutes of your and Vicky's stream. Was there a resolution between Finatra and Jazz Crab and everyone? Give us the TLDR. What happened towards the end?
We already went over that. Finatra said he was sorry to people. And in 13 hours from now, Finatra will be streaming about something completely fucking different.
No, he didn't. No, that isn't what happened,
That's
Risey.
quite what happened.
Jazz
He
Crab
made a
dropped the
couple of-
mic.
Try again, Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jazz Crab played some really fresh songs, and it brought everybody together. And
is that what you call that?
And then Jazz Crab told Finatra if he was a real DJ, he'd want his music plastered all over, and then left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
And then he tried to. But here's the other thing.
A sucker MC. That's what he called him.
He did call him that. But Finatra also tried to go back to saying, "Oh yeah, they doxed me." He did do that.
But we didn't let him. But I didn't let him do that.
No, you didn't. No, that was good. I'm glad he held his feet to the fire on that one.
Yeah, well, that was what I was trying to say to Finatra in the chat. I was just like, look, dude, if there's not a real name and an address and a phone number and all your private details, it's not really doxing. I mean, it's the same thing with Preston Poulter, how his cuck porn got put out and he cried that, oh, they're doxing me. It's like, no, that was in public places. You were advertising White Lily below it.
I was doxed.
You had to go look for that. This is just, you type in Finatra into the YouTube search bar, it pulls up. I'm Finatra.
And I held Finatra to the fire too, as far as what he tried to do to Risey. Risey's you're trying to show Risey's address. Your address wasn't shown, Finatra. No one knows your address, but you're trying to show Risey's home.
He can come up with that. He's got no fucking nothing to do with that.
Yeah, we all have Risey's address.
Risey, did you pay for the pizza?
You're more than welcome. No, I didn't pay for it. You meant to pay for it, Ninja.
No, I sent you a pizza.
It didn't get here.
I don't.
Anyway. We're talking about fucking doxing. The only person I think on the panel that has actually been viciously doxed is fucking poor Vicky. You know, it wasn't her, but they doxed her fucking sister. You know, are we gonna bring that up?
When they bring up the doxing word, a lot of us get a lot more, upset about it because you're going, "You weren't doxed, you fucking retard." That's not doxing your YouTube channel.
Streaming right now.
Yeah, he's city building.
It's the city of Comicsgate, so it's probably a lighter show.
Yeah, it's the type of show that no one watches.
Oh, Simple Jack is getting a house.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice. I already got a house. I told him that.
Yeah, I like those.
I will copyright strike you. So be very careful.
Don't you dare!
Will you please stop this OBS shit? This looks like shit.
No, it looked great.
Why?
Because you couldn't even see the text when we were trying to read it.
The dump trucks.
There wasn't anything to read. Testify.
There was.
There was the graph.
We were trying to read it.
Look,
are we going to eat this?
I love you, but you need to stop telling people how to stream.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling him this looks like shit. It's my opinion. It's
You're
only
a control
my
freak.
opinion.
Testify. Relax.
You're a control freak.
Yeah.
I am. I'm sorry.
Well, are we going to EFAP this?
At
'Cause I
least
missed
he
the last, I would
apologized.
say,
Yeah,
15
let's
minutes
go.
or
Let's
so.
EFAP this.
I've got like the last minute here, and it's right before Jazz Crab says you were a suck. If you're a sucker MC, so is this a good place to play it?
Yeah.
Oh god, wait! I'm gonna hear my voice. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I can't listen to this shit.
Like a little punk.
No.
You said you're coming at me? You coming
He
at
was
me?
one
I'm
of the
like,
only people that showed up to your stream, and you're like,
Yeah,
you
but
know
he
what?
came in.
I'm gonna
And
talk
the
to everyone. Sorry.
And the first thing he did was threaten him with bodily harm. I'm not exactly sure what kind of response he was supposed to
Oh
have.
yeah, I'm gonna break every bone in your body except your arms so you can continue working. Yeah, that's a real fucking genuine threat, right? No fucking.
Well, no,
It doesn't matter if
it's
I
ultra
come in,
literalism. Oh,
if I
these
come
guys
into somebody's stream and we have an active beef going at the moment, and that's the first thing out of their fucking mouth, you better believe it doesn't matter if it's an empty threat or not. It's still, it's going to put him into a mindset of because of what you just said. I mean,
you always go on about how you're from the streets and how you handle things. You used to go on that stuff all the time. You brag about that.
you were doing that for 2 days.
He already lied once about the striking right on this show. So
Okay,
he's gonna
fine.
keep
I did
lying.
not.
So I just gotta say, you don't want your SoundCloud out there, you must be a sucker MC.
That's a pretty good clip, actually. Yeah. Does it go on from that? Should I keep?
We gotta see when he exits, because he exits very dramatically.
Okay. Is it close to here?
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah,
there.
it's right now.
Just let it play.
Okay.
Oh, drop the mic.
All right.
Okay, so I think this is where we are going to end it.
Yeah, I think this is good.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on.
No, thanks for coming on. Honest.
Anytime you want some more content, well,
And that's it. We just said goodbye. I think Risey and
Vicky didn't mean it though. She was being disingenuous because she's a, kind of.
No,
a
those
cunt.
guys. Listen, about the attacking George, that's bullshit. Whatever. I understand where you're coming from, but he came in there. I heard it in his breath, and then when I said that, he was like, "Oh, you're coming at me? You're coming at me?"
Begged for him to come on.
Not him personally.
Yes, you did. You
I said,
begged for all of them to come on.
I would have took every single one of those assholes.
You know, I would have
that
came
day.
on if I
20,
hadn't been
30,
asleep.
Me, by myself.
Sleeping off a fucking
whole-
hangover watching anime. I mean, honestly, not everything revolves around you, Finatri. Sometimes people have got things to do.
I did not say that.
So
Okay,
don't worry about
my
it.
point
That
is
is your
that,
issue, Finatra. It's not the beer, it's your ego. Your ego goes out of control very easily. That is your issue.
Maybe. You got to have some kind of ego on YouTube. You just can't fucking.
Well, you have to manage it properly.
Yeah, well, okay.
He's dealing with a man bun.
Well, this is my thing here. If I
you can
fuck
stop
up,
it.
I'll be careful.
Yeah. Is this
So him going through his fifis. I thought I'd remember that Jazzcraft just dropping out and exiting very quickly, but I guess it was a Mandela effect.
Yeah, it takes a second.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
'cause
yeah,
it looks like shit.
It's fine.
Shut the
Testify.
fuck up, Testify.
You sound jealous.
No, look at it. You've got a screen. You could just have it flat out panned where you see it. No, you decide to make it a 3D effect to make it look more. Why?
He's using his artistic aesthetic choices to try something out.
I
I
see a black line in between Risey Lee's name. It offends me. And Vicky's. It offends me.
Offends me.
Well, actually, I agree with you about that. I don't like that line going between the names. So you have a point.
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking notice it until you
He's got
pointed
you there,
it
Dean.
out.
I'm sorry.
I actually added the the window capture last minute.
I'm like, this is the shit
so
that drives
now,
me
now
up the
you
wall.
are the
Little
fuckhead.
things like that.
OCD, huh?
Should we see the last minute where he leaves?
Yeah, go ahead. Play the last minute.
Okay.
With what I say and how I think about stuff. Okay, I'll give you that. But I never shared anything, and if you shared that, you saw the fucking the screen cap. Nobody ever asked him to do that. Finatra is our friend. Follow him on SoundCloud. Where the fuck did you find that? Why did you find that? You put that there right after I called you a bunch of trolls. That's what when I was trolling you and I called you a bunch of names, and all of a sudden that pops up. What you did that for, Jazz Crab? Stop playing with me, punk. Stop
Yeah,
playing with me.
Jazz
All right,
Crab,
that's it.
stop playing.
Taking a man's
All right.
SoundCloud.
So, I think now we are
Now.
done.
Now.
Thanks for everybody for
For
showing
sure.
up. And
Thanks,
I'm
chat.
surprised so many people held on this long and continued to watch.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh,
Don't
fuck,
forget to
okay.
go watch Well Read.
No, I deleted a
Oh,
Smug Pug's
I think you can stop the video now. Well read and friends. But look at Jazz Crap comment in the chat. See, I was right. I did remember properly. Look at his Jazz Crap.
Wait,
in the
who
chat.
deleted my comment? And what comment was deleted?
The tune in to Well Read.
I laughed my ass off.
Dramatically.
That's
There were
understandable.
two guys in our Discord they started freaking out. Somebody deleted a chat message, and I'm going, no, it was Dean that did it. Fucking with Smug Pug.
So I did
I'm
remember
going, it was
properly,
funny.
Jazz
I
Crap
go,
did
I
make
got
a-
why he did it.
Jazz Crap did make a dramatic exit, but this OBS is messing that up. So more credit to Testify.
No, OBS didn't mess up.
It did. It looked like shit.
It lags. It does lag a little bit.
Yeah, Finatra was in a corner there, definitely.
It does, Dean. I'm sorry.
No, like
the
Jazz
LD,
Crab
just
was
take it.
lagging out, like legit.
No, he made a dramatic exit. He dropped the mic and then left, but the OBS has screwed that up.
The OBS is so slow it didn't show
I know.
it in live.
Take the
You
LD.
totally ruined his CM Punk moment. You
Very
fucking
dramatic
idiot.
exit. Being lost. Take the L.
The pipe bomb. got
Take the L,
relayed.
motherfucker.
And also that black and white trash look, it looks like shit. If you're gonna do it, make it look good at least.
Don't shit on all of it. Look, if it was black and yellow, you might like it.
No, I'm just I'm not joking. That black and white thing, it didn't look good to make it.
Testify. Let's compare streams.
I will.
Yes. Let's compare views. Let's compare.
Oh, we're gonna be. Oh, you want to go?
Oh, yeah.
views?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Powerball. I do need my Powerball numbers for the week. So
We will
someone bring them
compare
up.
that in 1 year from now. Who has the most views?
Okay, you know what? Let's do that. Let's make that a bet.
How many views does the Choo Choo Train screen wipe get, Dean?
Choo Choo.
Wait,
Train.
what?
Wasn't there a little Choo Choo Train?
Fandom rejects like fucking bullshit gets fucking.
I'm not even that mean. Freaking well read. Good Lord.
Well, there was a Choo Choo Train that went across the screen, wasn't
It was a dump truck.
Oh, a dump truck.
You
Sorry.
couldn't tell because it fucking looked like shit.
I thought it was a Thomas the Tank Engine.
We couldn't tell.
Sorry, Dean.
No, that's cool.
That was an optical effect.
You're getting honest feedback right now.
Oh no, Dean! Oh, Dean, I'm sorry.
Take them away.
Oh, for fuck's sake! This is
Dean,
Dean.
get
I'm so
back
sorry.
He'll be back. No, fuck him. He needs to hear this.
Oh no,
Your
no.
thing looked like shit. Okay,
Yeah, leave Dean alone.
No, testify.
He's
let's
okay.
actually compare streams.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
You,
who
wait, you're gonna,
specifically
don't cross the
more
streams.
views?
Don't cross them,
Whose content
because that
is
means you're
better?
gay.
Okay, here we go. It's the views measuring
It's
contest.
Everybody
Yeah.
get out the
It's
measuring
It's
sticks.
a dick measuring
Yeah.
constant.
There's a
Oh,
big
let's
difference
bring
between
it
doing one stream a week and, multiple.
And two.
So you're saying that because
more
you
than
do
two.
multiple, you get less views?
Yes, I do.
That is
yes.
the most retarded argument you could possibly make.
I'm also.
But-
I'm not chasing clout.
No,
Wait,
you
you
just
are?
want to
You are
compare-
shit.
you-
I thought we were chasing clout this
You
entire
want to compare
time.
the
I was
content.
Risey.
Yeah.
all the reason why I'm
See,
here.
that's what I was here.
Yeah, I just want to say that nobody on this stream is chasing clout because this is the worst fucking show
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
that's
internet.
true.
No,
I'm
I'm
just- I'm
chasing.
Second worst
I'm
show
chasing
on the internet.
Smug Pug's clout. You know.
My
Man.
sub count has been steadily rising, and I'm so glad tonight's show was on Dean's channel because Ethan showed up.
And did you say
every time
steadily
Ethan shows-
rising or
Yeah,
steadily
it's-
rising?
Rising, and every time Ethan shows up on my channel, I lose subs.
Oh,
Yay!
And every
Yeah.
time Ethan shows up, there's like a fucking like wellness check meeting in Preston's circle because they're all freaking the fuck out.
Hey Vicky, I really love that that Martina
fucking
Marcota. I love that Martina Marcota documentary you made, Vicky. I'd love to see more stuff like that from you. That kind of, I know that stuff takes time though, but.
Dean, I'm honestly, I'm going to tell you, Dean, the way you did your show tonight with the OBS thing, you could have done with StreamYards exactly the same way, and it would have came through a lot better.
Okay, so let's identify this screen with.
Thank you.
What is this thing?
You could literally put this exact layout. Oh, there goes the Thomas
it is.
the Tank.
You guys are being really mean. You don't understand how excited Dean was to show this to us when he got it done. He was so proud of himself.
God damn it! You're being a monster to him right now, Testify, and I consider you a good friend, and you're being nothing but an asshole.
You guys have all agreed with me, though.
I'm agreeing with you. I told Dean he shouldn't have done this, but I'm not also bashing him over the head with a fucking retard tool.
Oh, I'm not.
Leave him be.
If anything, Dean should know I really like him,
dude,
and I enjoy what he does.
Honestly, wait, hold on. I'm going to finish my sentence. The only thing that Dean needs to apologize for is that goddamn awful hat that he wears.
I like his hat.
I
of
hate
course you
that.
fucking do. It's probably, you fucking asshole.
The CGDG garbage truck eventually makes its way to the Trash Compactor show. That's Comicsgate deep lore.
I will get that on the Trash Compactor show. I promise you somehow.
Dean, what does this truck have to do with anything? Why you use a truck? I don't even.
Why
get
is it
this.
backing up too?
Because it's a dumping ground.
It's to do with the stream, you fucking idiots. God damn it. I get it, Dean. I get it. Oh, you fucking assholes. Leave Dean alone.
I just didn't like the visual
He's
aesthetic.
pleasant. Look. He's a special lad. He's still trying to figure out what hats to buy in life.
He's
Here's the thing.
special
My
lad.
opinion, it doesn't matter to anybody else. If he wants to take it, that's fine. I didn't like the way it looked. I liked the content. I didn't like the way it looked. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shitty
You just don't
graphics,
have
you get
to continuously shout it.
I'm gonna fucking pound it into your head. It looked like shit.
That's tight. Yeah. That's cool. My shit-looking stream does way better.
No, that one stream looked like shit. I'm sorry. It's not all your streams. That one.
I don't know. I like that. He's a good.
I love Dean.
Hothead Studio says work on your visuals, Dean.
I told him I didn't
Alright.
like the font. I did.
Vicky, what are you throwing him under the bus for?
You can criticize poor aesthetic choices, and I think Dean has a poor sense of aesthetic. That's what I'm coming across.
Well, he clearly likes dump trucks.
Before we went live, I was like, yeah, no, let's not do this, Dan. And then she's like, yeah, I'm still going to go live with you, though. You fucking asshole, Vic.
Dean has a charming sense of humor, but his artistic aesthetic is lacking.
Love.
Did you have a lot of Tonka toys when you were young, Dean?
I'm not joking. In the Discord, multiple people go, "Oh God, Dean's using OBS again. This looks like shit." Not just me that said that. Multiple people.
Mostly Testify.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. I'm just saying what other people won't say to you.
Well, I was thinking about starting a show, but I think you guys would destroy me.
Well, John, you already have a shitty show.
Okay.
Grab an oar.
Dox him. His
Grab an
name's
oar.
Simple Jack.
No, I appreciate you guys answering my questions today. That was cool. Thank you for opening up the chat to the show. I'm going to head out, so you guys take care and have a good night.
All right, John.
Hey, Simple Jack, it's been a pleasure talking to you, my friend.
Yeah,
You're always
jump on.
welcome on my show as well. You ever want to fucking jump on? I always put the link in the chat.
I'll drink
Big
with
Daddy
you.
just said Lola's streaming.
I'll drink right now to Risey.
My ninja.
Have a good night, Simple.
Good night.
Yes,
Good night,
take care,
guys.
guys.
Thanks for joining.
Dean, we didn't offend you, did we? commenting on your stream.
Oh, I did. He's pissed.
No.
I want a light show.
I go
I want
back
a
and I
full
look at my
effects.
views and I look at all my likes and stuff, and
That doesn't matter.
Well, I'd love to
take
say
none of what you said into consideration when I realize my content does really well.
While I'd love to stay here and give Dean shit for the fucking horrible show he just ran, I'm going to join Simple Jack elsewhere because it's getting to the 3-hour mark.
Wait,
You're gonna go watch Lola, aren't you?
He's going to watch Lola.
You are. He's going to go watch Lola.
He's
Well,
paranoid that she might show one of his pics.
I heard that Mandy and Witten were joining her for a UCG Ladies Night, and I just have to be there. I must be there with my wallet. But yeah, thanks for letting
by the
me
way,
host.
Dark
one
gifts
second,
there. You
Dean.
guys should have a good time.
Dean,
Hey.
Again,
I
your
just want
show,
to say
your
one thing.
content is good.
Shut up. Leave Dean
Shut up,
alone for
Rosie.
1 second. I want to say hello, goodbye
good,
to
Dean.
Smug Pug. Smug
I
Pug.
know my content's
I want
good.
to make
Not your
sure
visuals.
that you know that I'm glad that you and me make Australia not seem queer.
I agree, Risey. I think we're the best. I was actually saying in the chat that
Perth scum.
I was actually saying in the chat that Risey Lee is a national treasure and he's the country's greatest natural resource. And then Ethan started
I thought
agreeing
that
with
was
me.
you.
It was beautiful.
I thought you were the national treasure, but I'll take that. Thank you.
He's Perth scum.
No,
All right, guys.
Shut up, you
I'll be
fucking
I'll be in the chat, but I need to get. I'll see you in the chat. I need to get these headphones off. It's murder.
Talk to you later, Smug Pug.
Good night.
All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Fuck you, Risey.
Fuck
Did
me?
you guys,
what the fuck did I just do?
Did you guys see Quaff put up a link on Twitter that it was last night for the guy Sleazy? He's Gore's manager. He does live streams. He's really over the top with this big Quaff wig. And there was a few comics gives me and some other Matt C was in there. Quaff was in there. I don't know if you saw that guy stream. He's the manager for Gore, the heavy metal band. He has he's really outrageous kind of character with a big wig and his set. He has a painting of himself behind his desk.
Send me the link.
He's doing a whole
Send me the
persona.
link. I'd like to see that. That'd be
Yeah, it was
funny.
a few of us were in there in that stream. I'll retweet. Quaff tweeted it. I'll send it to you. Or tweet it
Yeah,
at you.
I didn't see it.
It was fun. He's a character. Quaff is like, this is who I'm going to be in 10 years. I'm like, you wish.
It's about having fun.
I
if
might
you
have
stream.
seen that tweet on. I just thought it was a picture.
Is
Yeah, the guy streams with a big
No.
plastic wig.
Everybody
it's Lola
join.
and a bunch of men.
Oh,
It's Lola and a bunch of really gross-looking men, which is even worse. Like all of them just seem really greasy.
You don't like the looks of Dark Grift?
Oh, it's not just. It's not Dark
Vicky,
Grift.
we
It's like
could,
that
we could all look
Wolverine
like
vibe.
nasty Wolverine vibe.
I know what you look like, Risey.
Oh shit! Don't dox my pictures.
But
we
you don't
already
come-
did on this stream, you dumb shit.
Shit. All right. Well, that's by accident.
You know, it's the way they talk and all this. They just all seem just greasy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's like the type of guys that they've been sitting in the fucking goddamn comic book closets, Dungeon Dragons corners, and then the moment they see a female show up, they're like, "Oh yeah, what have you eaten for breakfast? Oh, what do your feet look like? Oh, how often do you shave your legs? How often do you shave under your arms?" Yeah. Oh, I love that shit.
I couldn't even come up with that one. Good
yeah.
Lord.
Risey has Dungeons and Dragons game.
Hey, I know these motherfuckers. I've been friends with these people. Like I said,
don't
I've been
wanna
around a
know
lot
how you know
of
this.
I've been around a lot of communities. I study people. They're interesting to me.
Dark Gift and Wolverine would agree to share Lola. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Why is she trying to make it?
Oh, you're right, right.
Coughing up a hairball. What are you...
No, I'm drinking while I was reading that.
You're drinking and you laughed.
Why is Lola trying to make a comeback?
Well, because
Maybe she's
Tug
bored.
needs a new mailbox.
Okay. I'm going, why now? It makes no sense.
Oh, they're boring. I mean, their sex life has got boring. You know,
Probably just has
they
more
can
free
no
time.
longer like roll around in the mud and do things with one another.
Oh, Dean left.
Yeah, I'm not
sorry,
sure
Dean.
why she is either.
Mhm.
You know, there is a whole new population of people that have no idea who she is.
Yeah.
So there's that. You know, there's this whole
That's
new
ominous.
victim pool.
Yeah, honestly, what I would have done if I was her, I wouldn't have come back to the same community where I'd shat on the table. I would have gone to a different one and try to build my platform over there.
Where's she gonna go? She can't go to the fandom menace. She can't go
She
to
can
Comic
go
Strip.
to the anime ones.
True.
She could go to the shoe collectors community.
But then again, I don't think manga and anime people are as desperate as comic book collectors.
There's a lot of girls in the anime community, so yeah, she's gonna have a harder time over there.
Yeah, so you're shit out of luck, bitch. Sorry.
Big Daddy thinks that Lola and Tug are having marital issues and that Tug can't get it up anymore.
We already knew Tug couldn't get it
Big
up.
Daddy.
That's why she was allowed to, you know, roam people's DMs.
He couldn't even defend his own mailbox.
Right.
I mean, how the fuck are you meant to be a man, you know? Look, the mailbox is getting assaulted out the front, Tug. It's like, oh, I was at the back playing with my kid, and then I heard all of a sudden my mailbox got attacked. Wow.
Hey,
Just
testify.
shoot
Can you,
those fucks.
Testify.
You know?
Can you free to say now who was talking to Piper about what she can do and what she
No,
can't do?
I can't. No, it's a creator that has a project out that they try to do the same thing, telling them how to run their stream, how to do their stuff, you know, who to have on, who not to, very specifically
I think he should
who
shut
to
up
have
right
on.
now.
And I'm not talking about my name. It's multiple
just
people's
say that
names
you
in the
can't
whole
share it.
CG world.
Just say you can't share it.
No, I can't. I saw
I really
it. It's
I can't help but
happening.
I don't want to sound like vain, but I really do feel like I was one of those names that offended some of these people. I think I was.
You might have been on that list.
I was on her stream quite a bit, and yeah, I know I was expressing a lot of things.
Was I on that list?
Yes, you're on my list. My list of love.
Good.
No, it's a list of love, though.
I need to be on as many lists as possible.
No, I some people don't think I have integrity. If somebody truly asks me not to share it, I won't. And it's just, I know why they don't want to, but it's like, good Lord.
So
This
these
shit
people
needs
trying to
to be
control
shown.
channels
These
in the
people
back.
are doing exactly what I've been saying they've been doing. They go around, they go, you can only do this, and this, and you can only have these people on. And if any of these people show up, they need to be banned instantly. You need to have these people as moderators. Literally, I'm not joking. Detailed rules. They have rules.
I'm not.
That's
gonna,
how bad it is.
If you don't want rules, show up to Will Red's stream. And also trigger warning, wherever the time I decide to go live. There are no rules there. And everyone's more than welcome to come on.
That's right.
Yeah,
and I'm not joking. It's just because they have an active campaign going. And they asked me not to. And they're a really nice person also. That's why.
Well, dude, also, if someone gives you information like that, you just don't spread that shit. It's bad.
They wanted to, and then when I was about to do it, they pulled back. That's the only reason why I said anything like I have now.
Well, everyone notices that Piper didn't do her show last week. I mean, she didn't air, so I mean, everyone sees that, you know.
Well, honestly, Piper streams have never really been that entertaining.
And who is
to tell you
telling
the truth.
Piper how to run her streams? I'll give you a clue.
Grift.
Steven.
Just start going down the line.
Steven.
JJ.
Steven. Steven Stamboli.
We don't talk about where Steven is, Risey, remember?
Shh. Oh, yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta go do something.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things. These guys literally are that. I know this might be controversial. You guys know who Drew E is?
No. We know Drew T.
No, not Drew T. Not Drew Taylor of boundingintoshit.com, which I do own, but the other Bounding Into Comics. But what Drew E. He's put out a book. What the hell is it called? Couple of them. I have to find it. But he came into War Campaign's Discord way back when I was still in there. It started telling Ro on how to grow the channel because Ro was asking, how do we grow everything? And I go, this guy has 50 people subbed and nobody watching. Why are you listening to him on how to grow anything? And that's the way, like JJ Sith Lord, all these other fandom reject guys, that's what they do. They think they know what they're doing, and you're going, you're not growing an audience. You're just hanging out on a stream. That when you stream, it should be to grow an audience and entertain people, not just hang out. That's always been my belief in streaming.
Well, Rozzy just streams to hang out.
I know you do, but at least it's entertaining to people. It's not you sitting there with dead air in the background and nobody saying anything with 6 or 10 people on a stream. That's what these fandom reject streams do.
That's what I can't fucking stand. I'm like, you got this many fucking people sitting on a fucking stream and no one's got anything to say? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think that JDA makes entertaining live streams. They can just fire it up and let it no agenda, but it can become entertaining.
Oh, JDA is one of the most funny motherfuckers out there. You know? It goes without saying, who do we just... Oh, we just lost test. Oh, maybe he had to go do something.
His internet is crap, so he probably dropped out by accident.
But yeah, I think JDA can just fire up a stream and you can just get to talking. Like even here's a thing about why women like ruin science fiction, all that stuff. That was all funny.
Yeah, I mean, I just find I don't know. I just like JDA's voice. The way he like describes things. Even when I really didn't care too much about JDA, I always still remotely liked him because I was like, he's very charismatic. I was like, you cannot take that away from
engaging.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, JDA is funny, hothead. But
I like JDA.
You have to sort of reach this kind of like zen place when you watch JDA and just let it flow. You can't.
Because if you go into JDA, you're gonna if people have been telling you that they hate JDA, like this is what happened with me, and it took me a long time to appreciate JDA just because of this. People are like, JDA is a piece of shit, blah blah, fucking blah, and I'm like, all right, well I'm gonna watch him, and then I started watching him and kept watching him. I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to think I like JDA, and what the fuck, Rosie?
You start to realize how much of what he does is him having fun trolling people.
I
heard all that stuff too.
Exactly like all of us,
Yeah,
I heard all that stuff too about JDA constantly. I heard all this stuff. Most of the comics get heard, and then but I was thinking of stream with him and Finatra, and we just started talking about comics, and he loves comics, and we started really talking about that for real, meaningfully and substantively, and then just started talking to each other on Twitter and streaming together. And yeah, he's cool. He's fun to hang out with and enjoy him as someone on YouTube to stream with.
Yeah, I enjoy hanging out with him.
Earthmind says, I did not expect to flip on JDA when I first heard about him in his Robotoad days, but that's what I ended up liking about him. That was a really weird project, wasn't it, Robotoad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost wanted to back it.
It was a troll move.
It was a shit looking book, to tell you the truth. So
it only existed as a troll against Ethan.
Yeah. I mean, that was clever. I liked it, but I was like, I'm not paying for that.
Was it a cry for attention?
I wouldn't say it's a
so.
cry for attention. No, I think it's more of like a middle finger, sort of thing. And
Your idea is crappy, kind of thing.
well, actually, Cyberfrog isn't that much of a crappy idea. Well, actually, it is,
Yeah,
but at
it
the
is
same
kinda.
time, but it's
Ethan has admitted
Ethan's
it's like a
property,
Ninja Turtles kind of knockoff thing.
Yeah, and it's his property, and he's proud of it. So I'm gonna let him have, I'm not gonna shit on it as much as I used to, because I used to shit on it because I just thought it was fucking pathetic to begin with. But he's really proud of it, and he's putting a lot of work into it, and for his fans. So I'm gonna say I respect him for that.
Like the Salamandroid's a cool character, and Cyberfrog's
Yeah.
being developed a bit more well than he was before. I think originally in the 90s it was like a Bugs Bunny kind of obnoxious character, but he's writing him a little bit more differently now.
I mean,
more
yeah, it's
mature.
definitely never going to be Ninja Turtles, but yeah, I respect the amount of work he's put into it. He's done really good.
Is he going to be able to finish? I mean, it's taking him forever to draw the pages he wants to do.
Yeah, it's
dude,
a complicated
it
art
took
style.
him- He also streams a lot. We can't. This is the same thing that like off-air arguments I used to have with a lot of the anti-CG people that hate me now. They're like, why the fuck did you not get your refund yet, Rosie? Blah, 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 blah. Like that was some sort of Puritan fucking test. And I was like, no, because I backed the book because I fucking wanted it and I wanted to show support to him. I'm like, just because I don't like him now doesn't mean I'm going to fucking go and go, oh, Ethan, can you send me my money back? No, because I'm a fucking man. I know what I spend my money on. And if I don't get what I fucking pay for on time, I just think, I honestly, leave him the fuck alone. He's a busy fucking man. And I hate fucking even defending his name right now. But Ethan's fucking done a lot better fucking work than majority of all these fucking assholes on the fucking internet. He's actually making a fucking stabilized community somewhat. And he's kicking out the people that are toxic and doing everything that needs to be done.
He did a stream today, and he had Anna on there though. Like it's so annoying.
Oh,
like, what is Anna doing?
And
on
then
these
it
streams?
just threw my fucking. God damn it! Fuck you.
But she just kills it. When I tune into an EVS stream and she's there, it's like, oh my god, I can't even watch it. It's like.
Well, listen, I'm gonna head out myself. You all have a fabulous day, evening, night, and I'll catch you guys later.
Yep, we're
Good
just
night,
about to
Vicky.
wrap up. So
Thanks for
being
having
here,
me
Vicky.
on, Well Read.
Yep.
Rock
anytime.
on, Vicky.
Yeah, I think we
See
can
you
end the show.
later.
Well read.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to close out. It's a Sunday stream. So.
No, it does sound great.
But it was great having all of you guys here. So I appreciate these open conversations. It's really nice that we can still talk freely like this. So,
well,
come on in.
You know that you're always welcome on mine as well. Well read. And yeah, I don't gatekeep people. I mean, unless they're Finatra. Finatra, you are not allowed on my fucking show.
Gatekeep all the random cocks that show up on your stream.
Fuck yourself.
You could gatekeep those, Risey.
And actually, yeah, no, only Finatra is not allowed on my show. No, Finatra and Larry Higgins, but I'll let Larry on for maybe 5 minutes to speak his truth one day, if he's got the balls to show up.
Smug Pug's reminding me. So, what are we reviewing this Thursday? This Thursday we're doing Red Rooster. Everybody finally got their books. I don't think we're doing a Wednesday stream, but we can still talk about that.
Red Rooster, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching that. Word to your mother.
Well, the review of the book should be separate from whatever other issues there are. You can review the book, just the story and art, right? And I mean, you guess you want to talk about the drama and all that. That can be a separate discussion, but the review should be about the book itself.
Yeah,
Ideally.
that's usually how we do it. We don't go into the drama until after we've talked about the book, and we try to that's why Xenotype, I think, got a fair shake. Like Smug Pug liked it and was honest about it, but then we talked about all the problems associated with printing it and things like that. So
sure.
Well, no, I don't know why everyone keeps saying your streams are boring. I mean, honestly, you guys do the stream for the comics, and then you open up the chat. So like the first part is professional, and then the next part is neurotic.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of psychos show up. It's like Razzie.
Well, we want to do something for the audience, and the books are supposed to be the things that all the CG supporters are here for, and then all of these discussions are the aspects of CGs that are for the audience. So it's not meant to be a creator stream. I mean, we shill if a creator comes on, but this is supposed to be more just the CG customers and the things that would be important to them. So that's the way I'm trying to orient it.
No, I've been enjoying it. I mean, the parts that I actually fucking catch, I enjoy this shit.
Cool. I'm glad. Thank you.
All right. I think we can wrap up.
Yeah. So thanks for being on. Thanks, Risey, for that closeout belch. We appreciate it.
sorry, motherfucker.
I'll catch you guys both later.
All right.
Good night.
Rock on, ninjas.
Later. All right. With that, I will play a closeout song. Usually I say goodnight to the chat, just to have a little one-on-one time with everyone. So I appreciated everyone being here. Thank you very much to all the guests and all of the open discussion. Nobody's gatekept. I want everybody to have a chance to speak their own minds. It doesn't mean that I agree with everything that people say, but at the same time, I don't think people should be scolded or shunned for anything that they think or they want to express. So come on and have your say. That's not a problem with me. Just 2 words are the only things that I ask people to not toy with. So Velnet says, I might put off watching your review until I finally get my Red Rooster. Yep, that's a good way to go because we do spoilers in the reviews. We try to be as thorough as possible. Well read achieves balance. I try my best. I'm hoping to. I'm going to add in some more content. I used to do music streams. I haven't for a while, only because I've been busy, but I have hours of playlists that I want to share. I want to try to incorporate drawing and music. I did get a video from someone of them drawing a piece for me. It's about an hour and a half. And I'll try to include having guests on plus playing music while that person is showing the piece that they're drawing. So hopefully that'll be something that people enjoy. And then I have fanfic streams planned. Those will be a little bit more shill oriented because I'll be doing fanfics on Indiegogo projects. But it'll be a way to showcase writing as well if people want to join on those streams and maybe contribute to some of the fanfics that we talk about as we talk about a particular Indiegogo project. So as much as possible, I'm trying to think of different ways to showcase comics on the channel as well as incorporate the audience into a lot of that showcasing. Job of the Coach is letting me know that I need to quit already because I suck and nobody cares about your gay music streams. And Smug Pug, who used to be a big fan of my music streams, now agrees, joining the bandwagon about how gay they are. All right. Well, with that, I'll leave everybody with a closeout song. I'll play the same song that I played last show. People seem to like it. And hopefully you'll be back again. We'll see if we do a Wednesday stream. I haven't decided that yet. But it's possible. If we do a Wednesday stream, it'll have to be for something that came out recently on the store shelves. I don't really want to do things that are too old for the Wednesday streams. That's usually the time when people are visiting the comic shop. So it's best to try to catch something that's fresh if we're going to be talking about it on the Wednesday stream. So until then, I'll keep you guys up to date. Keep an eye on the Twitter, and I hope you have a really good night. Take care. Bye.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, desperate for attention. He's slamming bodies left and right just to prove a point. Yeah, yeah. That he's the strongest man alive, but a lonely boy. Yeah, yeah. Can you pick up? Can you hear me? Can you make up your mind? Get your weight up. Shit feels heavy, it gets better with time. Stone Cold Steve Austin, blank stare. What's your